That was weird. I had to like reconnect my mic. Yo, yo, yo. What's up, Letterbuck? How you doing? God, that music can be loud when you first start it up, I swear. Doing good, man. Honestly, doing good. I've been up for like 5 hours, I think, now. I woke up and I was like, screw it. I'm just going to stay awake. We'll just ride it. You know what's interesting about the move yesterday, or overnight, I should say, is if you look at yesterday's price action, this candle here, this is kind of like the last real candle, and then we had the imbalance come out, and we're like right there. So it's like this didn't matter, and none of this mattered. We're like back to square one. We're just like still at square one. The one notable thing is that we're above the previous day halfway point, so that's interesting. So directionally, I feel like we're still up on intraday time frame, but when you zoom out, it's like it feels pretty apparent that we should try to at least go down if we have any kind of lower open. But we're not going to have a lower open. We're going to be opening higher than the previous day close, so this is actually a really good sign for buyers. But I definitely say this level tells all. Oh, I should probably share the stream, huh? That would probably help. I was about to be like, yo, could someone clip that? And then I was like, wait a minute, I haven't even linked it myself. I can't believe I did that. There we go. Yeah, that helped. Yeah, that was a one-on-one session, wasn't it? Just show up early. I agree. I've been wanting last week's midpoint, which is around 554. 554? Yeah, that's crazy you say that, because I was literally saying 555 is what I wanted to see. Because it's not a huge dip. If we get any kind of lower open, which, again, we've just proven that we're not getting that. Any break of this, though, break of this area here, the halfway point of the gap up here, that would be a really good test towards 555. I like that, though. That's pretty close to what you just said, though. That's weird. Does that even show up? Oh, there it is. It's really confusing when you like zoom out. That's why it's nice to have that second chart, you know, so you can go over to it and there's not a bunch of crap in your way. I'll be honest though, I've literally been taking my own advice though. Recently, all I've been saying is like it's kind of been nice to like delete all your levels and then just redo it so you get a better context of what the chart's saying, and it's been helpful because we've been able to dictate kind of like what's the most important level each day, and it helps us with direction. Like the past couple days, it's been we started lower, let's go up and hit our head against the 50. Like that's literally the last 2 days is that, but today it's a little different. Today we actually have a higher open, so. See what we get. Also, kind of an interesting day just because it's the interest rate day, and then there's Powell 30 minutes after, so that's also big. And then later on in the evening, there should be more China trading news coming out, so expect that tonight as well. So any swings, definitely a little bit more risky, but should be good for movement at least. I'm also live on Discord if anybody prefers that. I just clicked it. Did my mic reset on Discord as well? It did. That is so weird. Yo. Okay, yeah. It pops up on Discord now. That is so weird. I didn't change any audio and it changed my mic for both OBS and Discord. Mysteries. I went over the game plan twice already, but I didn't share the link. So if anybody wants to know what we're doing on SPY, just ask. But pretty obvious with the X on the line there. Kind of the big focus level is like 560, 560.15 area. So if we're above that, should be better signs for buyers. Pre-market is definitely not looking that great though. Like if you just think about it logically, you know, that was some pretty bullish news that came out, and we didn't really do much with it. So it kind of feels like we deserved to fall. Daily time frame as well didn't look too shabby, but again, today's higher open can ruin that daily time frame a little bit, so that could throw off that daily time frame signal. Just because, again, like I said, the higher open. What's up, Tobias? How you doing? I saw you were posting some stuff in your channel. Let me check it out. The reasons I think the Fed can't cut rates at any point this year since we are in a depth crisis. There's that word again. I'm only putting a laughing emoji on that because of the word you put. Only because I just learned it yesterday. Yo, what's up, Matty Ice? How you doing? What is up, boss? How's the weather up there in Michigan? That's weird. Chillin', water in these damn greenhouses. 50 this morning. Should finally stay warm the next week. Oh, okay, cool. Damn, 50. 50 greenhouses. That is wild. How many plants is in 50 greenhouses? I mean, just, you know, if you had to throw a number out there. It's 50 degrees. Oh shit. I thought you meant 50 greenhouses. I was like, Jesus. $50 ain't too bad, I guess. You can handle 50. When do we have FOMC or news come out? 1 my time, 2 Eastern Standard Time, and then 30 minutes after that, Powell will come out and speak. Remember, FOMC is not a live event. It is just data being dropped from a past meeting. But the Powell part of it is live. You can see that later. I'm sure 5 people in the chat will link a link to it later. I don't even have to do it anymore. So we'll have it. I mean, I don't even know if I'll still be streaming then. I really don't care to watch it live, but it will be kind of cool to see the reaction on the market later. Yeah, that's like later in the day. I do believe we should have at least one good move in the market this morning, though. And then we can chop up the rest of the day to, oh, well, it's going to be pretty volatile, blah, 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 blah. But I do believe the first part of this day could be pretty good. I think this level should hold for buyers, but if it doesn't, and it kind of what I said in the notes on the levels channel, it just looks droopy. Just looks like we're just like, how did we just have really good news come out? We look like this. You know, it just feels like we deserve to fall. We deserve to go down to whatever levels are down here. So kind of basing off this pivot point, and not just that, you know, we do have, I mean, now we have a new pre-market low, but we got pre-market high up here, so kind of watching that as well. Definitely looking droopy though, won't lie. But yeah, end of day, some pretty big news that will most likely have some big moves on the market, and then I do expect big moves to happen when Powell speaks, because every time he speaks, whenever we drop, we like rip back up, and it just have a huge move that makes a new high of day, or vice versa, new low of day. It's just very volatile movement. And I don't even like to sit here and be like, oh, the levels work perfectly. It's just, nah, I would honestly, you guys just read the FOMC guide. There's a FOMC guide that Leland made, and there's examples and templates, and like it shows you what to do if this happens or that. Like it literally shows you how to do everything. So if you do want to trade later on in the day, I think you're crazy, but there is a way to do it. Just make sure you read through that guide. That should be pinned to the trade floor. If it's not, just ask me where it is and I'll find it. Actually, we should just repost that now before everyone even asks about it. I'm just gonna reply to it on Discord. You can just click on the message I'm replying to, and it'll take you to it. And there's a PDF you can download. That's on trade floor. Only 2 greenhouses. Probably 20,000 plants in these 2. That is insane. Good morning, Dr. J. How you doing? How's the music, by the way, on YouTube? Is it too loud or too quiet? Every time I think it's too loud, it's too quiet. Watch, someone's gonna be like, "What music?" It's perfect? Okay, wow. That's a first. Look at us progressing. Maybe a tad loud. Alright, hold up. Alright, I think I bumped it a little too much, but whatever. It's just supposed to be background music anyway. You know, it's funny. I will go on YouTube and you can find like playlists for like non-copyrighted music, but it's almost always marketed towards like Twitch streamers. I could literally type in the words for YouTube streaming and that you will not find like a playlist that has that in it. It's always like for Twitch, but you could get copyright strike like crazy on YouTube. So it's like, where are all those playlists at? I think typing Twitch is just like the better keyword, but it's still just like, what the hell? 24 minutes away from the open, guys. 23 and a half minutes, actually. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Tisius, Tobias, Letter Buck. Me and Letter Buck are having a one-on-one before everybody joined. Because I forgot to share the link. Good morning, Matty Ice. Good morning, Dr. J again. Good morning, John G. Good to see you. Everybody hitting me with the yo-yo-yo. I love to see it. If anybody has a decently annoyingly intro, it's me. I had to clown myself in that BB Theory playlist on that first video. I know it was like the only edit I did to the entire series, but hey, it was something. I catch myself doing it like on accident. I swear I don't even like plan to say yo yo yo. And there's so many other takes where I don't even say it. I'm just like, fuck. Because I mess it up so quickly. Starting a video is weird, man. Like once you get going, it's fine. Each streaming too, but like the beginning's like, all right, what do I do? What do I say? What do I do with my hands? The NFL Packers are in here. Let's go. What plays are we looking at today? Mainly looking at the pivot point around 560.15. Looking for just some early morning trades, but anything beyond that, not really looking to go crazy because got some pretty big news end of day. And then Powell, of course, after. That's pretty cool, though. We got the NFL Packers in here. I can go through some other charts, though. I'll probably just go through them casually, though. I'm not really looking to go crazy today. I like to look at IWM as well, so if anybody in here has like an itch for that, I got you. Mainly looking at the pre-market low and high today, though. They're lining up with really good key levels today in a lot of the big charts. I didn't even look at Tesla today. Which, just to kind of go over the timeline of what we've talked about on it. Lower open from this day. We like this. Down to this retest. We got that. Didn't really care about more, but it ended up going more. Next day, lower open again. A little bit of just kind of a settle day. And then today, I was going to say it's opening a lot higher, but actually, now that I'm looking again, it's actually not opening that much higher at all. It's kind of like SPY, which, again, just kind of reiterate what I said on SPY. You know, we did have a pretty big move from the news, but like two things that kind of like lead me to believe that we will probably dip down. It's already happening, so it's kind of like no shit. But I was already saying this morning. It just feels like we should have gone up higher if that was really good news. Two, this candle here was the last real candle we had before the imbalance came out, and we had like those two really fat red candles. That's what that is. And if you just kind of hover your cursor around like the close of that candle, you know, we settled around this for pretty much most of the pre-market and even breaking under it right now. You know, so it's not like we really went anywhere with this news. Yes, there's a fat green candle here, but we didn't really go anywhere, you know? So, I don't know. Kind of curious about that. Also, this dotted line is pretty important. If you take a fib from the low to the high of your whatever time frame you want, doesn't matter. You end up getting around 560, 560.15. That's why I've been saying those two numbers as a whole, just because, I mean, it's kind of hard to not think 560 when you just see this area. So if you see me say 560, I am meaning this just area as a whole. But it's just a halfway point of the previous day. And then this dotted line underneath, this is going to hurt your eyes, but let's zoom in. If you take a fib from this day's close up to this day's open, where we gapped up, actually I'm a little off by like 12 cents, but who cares? We get a good level down here, so that'll be a good target underneath. If that ends up breaking, 555 is realistic. Yesterday we said if we get a lower open today, 555 is a very, very realistic target to go down to. But we are most likely getting a slightly higher open. Earlier I was saying we would get a higher open, but you can see here we're about $1 away from previous day close. So we're not opening that much higher at all. And we are now currently under the midpoint of previous day, which does give us short-term direction. So if we're under this, most likely telling us that we're trying to go down. Also, the pre-market's pretty telling here. From overnight session to this pre-market morning, you can see we definitely just have lower highs sitting here. So not like we give a shit about trend of pre-market, but that's just something else to add on top of it. Josh Jacobs, TD. Good morning, fam. What's up, Alexis? How you doing? What is up, Mike? Good morning. Chief Mike. And then, of course, all the beautiful people in Discord. What's up, Garden? What's up, Chimera? VC, good to see you. I think I already said good morning to everybody else. Oh, my bad, Chimera. You asked a question. Usually, I've been marking the PDCP from open to close. That's not... But some other recent videos I've seen low to high being used. Was low to high used on range open and closes? You should be doing low to high or high to low to the overall range of the day to get the point. But if you're doing like the open to the close, honestly, it probably wouldn't even be that stupid. I would love to backtest that, marking both of them and kind of like highlighting like the area as a whole. That would be pretty interesting to look at. You asking that just like broke my brain for a second. Because it was like, wait a minute, that could work. Using not just one, but both. Actually, let's see. What does that look like today? Hold up. Before I mess up my chart any further, let's just go to a chart that isn't completely... Yeah, like this one. Let's just go to this one. Okay, so... Let's do what Chimera said. I kind of want to see now. So here's the low to the high. Okay, whatever. We're 1 cent off. It's okay. And then the open to the... Which actually, this is correct. Now, that doesn't really help out. Because if you have like a day like this where it goes up and then back down, it doesn't really do much. That was an interesting question, but no, you definitely want to do your low to high or your high to low. And honestly, it's pretty dummy proof. You can do it in either direction because the halfway point's always going to be the same. If you're just doing one day's plot, like this day, the low to the high or the high to the low, no matter how you draw it, you're always going to get the same number. Does that help though, Chimera? Because that was a good question, honestly. And yeah, Tobias, he knows those levels. I think he's good on that. He's been here a while. I think it just because I think he has seen a video or two where I definitely have done that. I know he's not. I'm not gaslighting him. No, yeah, you were just yeah. I would definitely say you were just marketing correctly, but that's not. You probably did see a video where I've done that before, but But no, for a while now here in the streams and in all my videos, I've been doing low to high or high to low, just because it's just the overall range. It's quicker to grab. You know, who cares about the rest? But that is an interesting thing to think about, though. From open to close, does that help? The halfway point of that, but I've never actually looked at it. What's up, Carter? We might be watching the demise of SPY right now. MAGA pumps it up the first half, Fed hammers it down the second half, Trump gets mad and says stuff on social media. Yep. That is what we're getting right now. Right now, guys, we are under that dotted line. That dotted line specifically is the halfway point of previous day. You really would have thought we would have opened up a lot higher today after not just the news, but how the price action reacted to the news. We actually held up pretty well last night. Kind of interesting. Do we get a liquidity grab of the previous day halfway point, or do we get a rejection of that and a drop down to 55750s? Break a PDL brings us to 555. Interesting day ahead of us. I still think there's going to be a really good move in the first part of this day. So even if none of us like to trade during the interest rate decision in Powell, you know, you're not. I mean, maybe besides like some gamble trades, but I don't think I'll be partaking in that. Besides that, though, should be a good morning. I don't think I'll be shocked, though, if some of you check your options chains and some of them are a little bit more pricey, but I haven't actually looked to see what the IV was. You guys think that the Pakistan and India conflict can impact today's prices? Just thinking out loud, we trade the charts. Probably to some extent. I'd have to see exactly what, you know, we receive or send over there, because that would definitely be more important than anything. But that's honestly a conflict that I've been talking about for a while, because it's like it's just like the Ukraine one. You know, it's one that's been going on for a while. So it's like, yes, it sideswipes most of the world because they're not all paying attention. But if you've been paying attention, like, you know that something between India and literally anyone's been about to happen. I honestly thought it was going to be between them and China, because them and China have the same thing going on, where it's like, all right, guys, let's not launch explosives at each other, but we'll still have fights with machetes and shit. You know, it's like, what? It's a weird treaty they got going on between some of these countries right now, where it's like, yeah, go brawl, and then a bunch of people die. VC, you need to rewind what I just said. I did not say it's just like that. I said it's like that in one sense. Jesus Christ. This is why I don't like talking about this stuff. People don't listen when I say something. I didn't say it's like Ukraine versus Russia. I said it's like that in one sense. It's like a completely different battlefield. You can't even call it a battlefield yet. It's probably going to be worse. But the India thing's crazy, because there's a lot of people over there. India, China, though, that's a really big tension, too, that not a lot of people think or know about. Like, China and India do not like each other. So the whole Pakistan thing's, like, not a good start. But yeah, I'd be interested, too, to know what is most impacted by that, in terms of, do we have imports from that area? Like, what is actually impacted? Maybe there's something that is impacting Europe from that area. Who knows? I'd have to dive into that, because I personally don't know. Trying not to suck today. That's a good goal, Carter. I think that's a very great goal. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Van Dam. How you doing? We were just discussing things that none of us are experts in. Now we're looking at SPY. And yeah, good morning, VC. Good morning, everybody. 4-hour SPY with an inside bar? Say swear. Keyboard warrior. Got smacked in the mouth yesterday like a... Wait, like a what? Oh, clown. Bro, I thought you were saying clam, and then I was like, man, do clams get slapped? That's crazy. But in a Pittsburgh accent. I've only met one person from Pittsburgh, and they didn't even have an accent. We're also at the golden pocket of that massive golden pocket of that massive after hours green candle. Yeah, what I was saying earlier, I don't know if you caught it, but if you look at like the chart here, this is like the last real candle we had before the imbalance came out. So like a lot of dumping end of day. It's like those last 10 minutes where we always see a quick move up or a quick move down. The last candle before that's right here, and we're under that. So it just goes to show like we're actually lower than where we probably were after with the good news. So it's just kind of interesting that we're this weak. You would think that news would push us a little higher than that. That's all I'm saying. It's kind of like one of the big things holding the market back. The fact we're not reacting a little bit stronger than that's a little weird. Daily time frame shows like a drop if we got a lower open today, but the fact that we're going to be opening, I'm just highlighting this, we're opening actually a little bit higher than previous day close, kind of invalidates that setup a little bit. If you look at the daily, it's like a couple hammers and looks like a little star with a couple candles in between. If we got a lower open today, it would have been perfect, but we're not getting that. They're actually trying to creep their head back up of the previous day halfway point right before the open, too. They're going to play with our hearts. I don't know. Past few days, though, it's been start lower, move higher. But this is a different day. We're starting slightly higher, but not by a lot. Logic tells me we moved down to previous day lows at some point today, but can't really include logic into the game plan when today we have interest rate and there's just all that. Plus, at any point today, if it really does feel like, and I hate to be that guy, but like he really could just like say something randomly today. He could be like, just kidding, screw China, you know. I hope not. I hope that doesn't happen at all, but this is literally what happened the first trading war. It was just back and forth. Yo, what's up, username? Good morning. Good morning, good sir. Bomb C keeping people hesitant? Most likely. But we'll see. That could be a good reason too. I guess I didn't think about it from that POV. Just the hesitancy of trading on a day like today. What was the news that pushed it higher? Just the fact that we're actually making real progress with the negotiations with China on the trade war. What's his name? Besant? Just weird name. He'll be... I think it's tonight, actually. I can check... What's it called and see exactly what time. Let me see. Yeah. Later tonight. Besant meets China's I don't even want to try to say that guy's name. Tomorrow we got jobless claims. And an AI CEO is testifying at the Senate hearing. That sounds cool. It looks like Bessent is meeting China all the way through to May 10th. So, looks like it's going to be a few days of China news. So, everybody prepare for that. Whatever that means. Good morning, though. Good morning. Oh my god, that is bright. I just wanted to read the corporate news thing. That's weird that it does that. It helps us, though. It's not super wide on the screen now. That's good. If anybody cares about any of these numbers, they're all right here. Rivian, there you go, Matty Ice. Sees 40 to 46,000 deliveries for fiscal year 2025. There you go. SMCI, AMD, Disney. Those are the big names. They're meeting in Switzerland. That's dope. I guess that does make the most sense. China will implement stimulus measures, including a 50 basis point cut. Yeah, this is all from yesterday. Here's that India-Pakistan news. Disney's up 10% on earnings. Let's go, Disney. That's right. Pave the way for all these names. Where does that put it on the daily? 101. Damn, it's way up here again. So it'll be at the most recent lower high. Fair enough. Good job, Disney. I would definitely keep an eye on Nike. I feel like randomly this thing's just... excuse me. Oh, excuse me. It's just gonna pop up one day when no one's watching it. Because it's such a boring name. I swear, dude. UPS as well. Definitely gonna keep watching these every day. Every week. Maybe not every day. BA, every time it tries to break 184.40, it defends it. So, pretty interesting spot. Not just yesterday, but the day before as well. Whoops, did not mean to do that. You can see here, pretty clear reversals there. And then the day before when we first watched it, no breakdown at all under 184.40. So, if you do see any dips down to that, could look for some buy the dip moves, some base builds. Tesla was like the same story, except it did just keep falling. It was like the same setup on the daily time frames, and then you go down to the smaller, and one would like work and actually fall. Yesterday, not so much, but I mean, justifiably so. It did fall a pretty good amount. While BA didn't, so it was kind of cool. Today, though, this could be an interesting watch again, though. They've already rejected a good level. Now you can see it kind of like SPY. Do they make it down to that previous day close? I was going to say mark PML, but that's basically current price. So that sucks. Looking a little droopy, though. So it'd be interesting to see if they do fall. Do they hold previous day close? Do they, further fall through it? So that could be a good outside setup to watch outside of course, the other setups we talked about. IWM and SPY. Good morning, Lag. Good to see you. Good morning. It's better now that you're here. Market opens in 20 seconds. 20 seconds. Yes, sir. Pretty sure with the beat they unlocked another 1 billion from Volkswagen. Oh shit. That's pretty insane. W for Rivian. Good morning, Spicy Pepper. Good to see you. Good morning, Cam. Good to see you. Let's see. Did we get the follow-through dip under the midpoint of previous day? Make it down to this previous day close. There is a better level here. We just don't have it marked, but previous day close is right there. Very important level if we do end up falling here. Outside of course, the obvious. We have a halfway point from another gap up, and then we have previous day low pretty much right at that level. So, actually, let me just do this. We'll just jump to this chart. Good morning, Chirukum. How you doing? Or Jeff. Or what was I supposed to call you? Oh, man, I gotta fix all this again. Alright, hold up. 1 second. We need more than 10. There we go. I was really like lagged for a second. Actually, on second thought, I don't care about seeing it on the 5-minute. A little easier to see without, to be honest. Let me remove these annoying purple lines so we can actually see what's going on this side of the screen. Trend line, delete that. And then we'll zoom this in so we can actually see what's going on here. Kind of like lags every time I switch the time frame. Can you check Verizon? You have a 45 call for this week. Man, you should have told me you had a position on it. You should have just told me to check it. This is a weird one, I'll be honest. I was about to be like, there's a lot of lower highs here, but this recent pop off this base, whatever these are, I don't know who had me chart this, but okay, it's an old supply that they're holding as supports. Okay, so that's a pretty important area. I don't know, there's a lot of lower highs here. I'd be interested to see. Okay, it's holding over that one. Remove that. Let's do the next one. We'll do this low. Pretty much the same level. I don't know, I was gonna say like it's probably a good pivot point right here, but it does seem to literally be like right where that's holding. I don't know, that's a weird one, man. I don't personally trade Verizon, so I really don't know. But you got some pretty clear lower highs. If you'd bought closer to like down here, it probably wouldn't be so bad. You got a nice little inside bar breakout right here, though. It's kind of like a continuation of that. And then I'd be interested to see what's the halfway of that. Okay, it's pretty much that level. Never mind. There's like 3 fibs that line up with this level, basically, though. So whatever you do, pay attention to this short term. But they seem to have held it as support once, moved up, made a nice close. So I don't see any reason why it shouldn't try to at least try to move higher. But I don't know, man. That's I don't know. I also don't know what your plan is. It's really hard for me to sit here and be like, yeah, man, it's a good trade, when I don't even know what you're basing it off of. You know, I'm basing this off of nothing. So if I put some EMAs on it, it might help a little bit. If you ever do an EMA strat, just do like the 9 and the 21. If you just want to do like some short-term stuff, maybe even like the 55. It seems, yeah, I was going to say, it should be holding them, but it seems to be holding it pretty well. The macro looks like crap, but short term it doesn't look too bad because it actually is like, it went down once, it held really well. It looks like it's trying to move higher, but I don't know. This is why I say post your game plans in chat, because I can't go off of nothing. It's a little hard. It's not fair. It's not fair to me. It's also not fair to you if I try to criticize something. It's not constructive, in my opinion. Plan is 100%. Yeah, see, that doesn't help me. I love you, but that doesn't help. You think SPY opened right at the previous day control point? I think you're right. Yeah, you are right. 560.15, 560.15. Whoa, why do I keep doing that on accident? Very indecisive candle at the open. Can anyone tell me why? It's this very first green candle here on the 5-minute. Why do I say it's indecisive? Not bullish, not bearish. Why do I say indecisive? 1 minute is giving up that level right now as we speak. Maddie, that's a pretty good way of saying that. Because it's a doji, yes. It's mainly just the attributes. Small body, long legs. Victoria's Secret model. I don't think I've seen anyone type that before. But yes, indecisive candle. Not like that really helps us. It's the literal first candle of the day, but just something cool to quiz yourself on. IWM opened up a lot higher, but they're just dipping since the open. Still above pretty good levels, though. Nothing to fear yet on that. I'd be interested to see how mags do as well. Just because they're the top weights of the market. I'm just going to stay on SPY for a second until the market opens up a little bit more and we actually have something to look at. You stole it from someone here? Oh, okay. So someone has said it before. I mean, it's a good, quick example of exactly that, yeah. But yeah, long wicks. That's what we like to see. Long-legged doji. Just a good sign of indecision. Nothing really else to talk about on that. And yeah, not every day we open right at the previous day halfway point. Definitely some struggle on that 1 minute around that midpoint, 560.15. 5 minute, nothing to really go off of yet, but that 1 minute, definitely some struggle there. Damn, they did Weeble dirty. I just saw that's red today. Bull is a slept-on stock. Do not sleep on it. I truly think it's a better Robinhood. Now, it doesn't look better than Robinhood, but their fees and everything, the actual fundamentals of the company, they are definitely a better Robinhood. Do not sleep on Bull. I also like UPS. Nike mentioned before, of course, from other people in chat. Mike T mentioning UPS. Nike, Target, not too bad. UNH you could say is a discount, but I think everybody would agree that it's just like, I don't know if I want to touch that yet. It's like Boeing anytime it falls and becomes a discount. Like when it went to like under 100 after COVID, it was like, do I want to touch this yet? Literally 2 weeks later, it's back into the 120s. Apple's at previous day low. Great call out. Yeah, Apple's been shying away from the rest of the tech pack recently. Now, it was probably because Microsoft, to be fair. They had good earnings. After all that struggle, this is a really good sign over the halfway point of yesterday on the 1 minute for the first time. See if we actually get a close over. What is everyone's opinions on movement for end of day when the news comes out? Do we think we see an interest rate cut? Do we think we don't see anything? We just, you know, sticking to pretty much what we've already been seeing? Any opinions on that? Rates stay the same. Yeah, Tesla did a good job having that lower open and then closing higher. So if it does push higher here, I would not be surprised. Previous day close, or sorry, 2 day ago close. It's not the previous day. 2 day ago close. Kind of where this higher low is, where we have the meat of this, about 280. A little bit of room above it. I didn't even draw the gap fib, but I'm sure you could draw that fib as well. Good update though, and yeah, Apple at previous day low. If we get some good movement up in the market, Apple could be a good watch. Vice versa as well. If we end up giving it up here, this probably is breaking previous day low. So Apple just in a really good spot in general right now. If anybody needs a side watch outside of just SPY, of course. I know nothing, that's the opinion. Spoken like a true wise monk. Tobias said taking a small call here above 150%. I think we see 560, 140. Stacking indecision, yes, 100%. Retest PDL, maybe not. I'll throw a dart and say bullish. Yeah, I mean, throwing a dart, that's more or less how I was asking it. I don't mean for anybody to, like, invest in their answer on that one. It's kind of just fun. Do you think we'll go up or down? Rates stay the same. Pop a pal with a division tone. And send SPX 5750. Yeah, I wonder what we get after. I think it'd be funny just to see what action we get from Powell. Even if we're not listening or watching it, just the movement we'll probably get from it. Because I think most everybody's going to think the same on the rate. Just thinking they'll stay the same. And I agree. I think they should stay the same. Charlie said, no cut. June cut will be in question until clarity. Market gets hammered. Pump before dump, maybe. Oh, you're saying like intraday, we'll probably get some good upside movement from here, and then by the time the news is coming out, we'll probably be working ourselves down. That is also viable too. Good liquidity to move down, to actually get some movement. Not bad answers, not bad answers, not gonna lie. Lag to Death says, I call the dreaded sideways price action. Oh, we got a smart guy. You know what we do as smart guys around here? Yeah, why I oughta. Spy 565 end of day. That could be a fun little guess. Like I said, the daily chart calls, if we got a lower open today, kind of called for us to go down to at least 555 if we broke 557.50s. But we didn't get a lower open. We actually ended up getting a slightly, I'm saying slightly higher open. Not really impactful because we haven't really done anything with it yet. But not a bad open. If we had opened anywhere under this level right here, and probability goes through the roof that we at least go down to this level, and if broken, we're most likely going down to 555. Just again because of how the daily time frame and the patterns are working, the candlestick patterns on the daily. But I think this is honestly a slight saving grace. It is a slight saving grace, giving them the chance to at least work towards this level and see if they can get anything beyond it. Because I mean, you saw how it happened yesterday. We got above that with the news, and then that was it. Just kidding, we're going back down. So not really any real control above 562s yet, or 561.64 if we want to be exact with it. But I don't know. I see this area as like a really just weird void. It was kind of just this area, but now it's like all of this. I see that as like a weird void. Just kind of wait till we see a better trade. If we get some good established, like, oh, it broke above this, then it retested down, then we get a lower high. Okay, yeah, we could short that early. But if we just get a straight up rejection, it's like, it might just be range trading for all we know. Whereas if we got the liquidity grab like this, good example, right there to the left, it actually has a chance of moving to a level underneath, not just breaking it once. What is this, the Bueller Mafia? No, we're not. We're not the Mafia. Is it me or are SPY contracts just not moving? Brother, Google search implied volatility for me. Hit Google with that. Come on, man. It's interest rate day. To be fair, too, the price action is not that one directional. I mean, you have this candle here, these two candles here, this candle, but like literally every other candle so far has been a definite battle back and forth. So I could see why the bids, or the spread, sorry, on the contracts might not be super directional either. So I'd say it's a combination of things. The price action is not helping though. But no, it's not just you. I'm sure that's happening across the chain, for scalpers at least. For all people named Tobias, just you. This feels like the 4-hour wants to break the inside bar to the upside and create an outside bar downside. Look at Letter Buck, dude. It looks like you're like Leland. Bro's giving us feasible information. What a nerd. That might be the call out of the day. I hope that happens just so you're proven right. Not even for like anything else. Kevo said low volume, he's just chilling. Van Dam said same. Till 1P's like, I'm waiting till the interest rate. Totally fine though. Make sure to repost the FOMC guide later too. I already replied to it so everybody could see it quicker, but if you do intend to trade later, make sure to repost that. And we're back down to 560.15. Like I said, kind of like a void here. We were supposed to have a good down day if we had a lower open. Us having this is kind of like a short-term saving grace, but they aren't doing anything with it. We haven't gone up and retaken any levels. We're just kind of stuck under this area still. You could see the struggle yesterday, yesterday's highs. We did go above it, but instantly back below it. no problem staying under it the rest of the day. So if we do end up popping that, it kind of leads us to believe, like, okay, maybe we do have the energy to make it up to whatever the next level is. Whereas this day, we didn't have that information. So, kind of curious about that. If we do ever get that pop, is it going to be a powerful pop? But so far, definitely just seeing struggles around the halfway point of yesterday, which is basically today's open. That doesn't always happen, but pretty cool that that lined up today. 8% loss on selling. What was that? Took a 1.92 to 12 or 212. You got filled at 1.78. Jesus. Market makers are doing, yeah. That's wild. I'm assuming you did a market order then, because that's crazy. Fair enough, though. It's hard to get a limit order out when you're scalping that quick. Nice VC. He said he did a 55-50 put, 4.7 to 6.8. What was the reason for entering? You just like that? We were just kind of stuck under that ceiling steel? Steel? Jesus. I'm like picking up an accent every other word. The mafia of levels. Spy right up against 561.40. Vibing, chilling out, not forcing anything. Nothing wrong with that. Mr. Santana. 559.50. Line in the sand. Good post by Mike. Definitely pay attention if you see that blue name Mike type in the YouTube chat. He's pretty well known for some good updates. I think some of you might find it helpful. Outside of anything I might be covering, hopefully he's helping. 10 minutes indecisive. Good looks. Good morning, friends and Mike. Damn, he said and Mike. Is that good or bad? Is he leaving you out because you're special, or is he leaving you out because you're not special? These are the questions that need to be answered. It just feels like the market may go down to 555. I mean, I wouldn't go off feeling, but if we had gotten that lower open, I'd be right there with you saying that. But I kind of am leaning towards what Letter Buck shared in the trade floor. If I had to just, you know, shoot my shot, throw my guess out, that's what I would say. I would kind of align with what Letter Buck said. Plus, following downward trend, lower trend. I can't even read. Downward trend, lower high. I tried to read 3 words at once. Thank you guys, by the way. Thank you for the likes on the YouTube stream. Good morning, if I didn't already say it to you. Anybody who's tuning in just now. Is anybody looking at anything special or that's not what I'm looking at? We already looked at SPY, IWM. We kind of took a gander at SPX and a couple individual tickers like Apple and Microsoft, Tesla, Boeing, stuff like that. Is anyone looking at anything different, or are we all just kind of chilling looking at just the same general stuff? General charts. What's up, though, Ace? How you doing? Ace claims that he was watching one of my videos from the new playlist at like 11 last night. Was that the retest entry on current day open? What? Where? Remember what I said though too. We're not just looking at this. We understand that just because we're above current day open, it doesn't mean that it's bullish. Like, yes, it is bullish, but we have this big ceiling right here, so we really need to worry about this too. At any point too, any struggle or rejection of this, loss of current day open, definitely brings us down to PDC, and that break, you know, we got pretty clear planning beyond that. So just remember, we're not just looking at current day open right now. Kind of looking at a variety of things right now. The peanut butter and jelly, and then the crust. But if you send me like a screenshot or something, Chimera, or let me know more of what you mean, I'd be happy to look at it. I just see, honestly, a jump rope of current day open. But it's not just current day open, it's also a mix of halfway point yesterday. So it's just a really big pivot point. I expect it to go up and down, you know, around this level. That's what a pivot point is. It is a higher low, if that's what you mean. If it is a retest, it's a higher low retest, which is good for buyers. And we'll see, now that we're back above open again, and we do have that second higher low in that 1 minute chart on the right, maybe this gives them a chance at cracking that level above. If not, though, it has to lead us to believe that we're going to pull back eventually. But this is a pretty good chance for buyers to at least break out. Just again, kind of basing it on what we've seen, not really going off of voodoo or anything. Let me open this up so we can actually see what's above it. Does that make sense, though? What I just said, all those little updates. You see how I'm not just using like levels, I'm kind of using context of like what the price action has done and where it is and what it has done before. And I'm not just talking to Chimera. I know he gets it. And make sure you're constantly talking out loud to yourself, or at least to yourself in your head, something like that, you know? The kind of telling the story of the chart as it's happening. Because if you just like walk away and then you come back and you just randomly try to trade, you're gonna mess up. You need that recent like awareness of what just happened. That's why I always say I overuse the word context, but it really is like that important. And you can apply context in how you use it in your strategy and how you trade using it. You can apply that to literally any strategy. It's not just like either buy strategy. It's the only one you can use it for. It's just logic. You're just applying logic to the chart. This is the best chance the buyers have, though. Second higher low on the 1 minute. They've actually made a new recent high. We'll see if they can push beyond this ceiling. We saw how it worked yesterday. Letterbuck said there's the 4-hour inside bar break to the upside. Fantastic, John. Good job, VC. Good work, dude. Side note, Vice President J.D. Vance speaks at the Munich leaders meeting in Washington, D.C. No, you're good. That's interesting. What are they talking about there? There's so many damn meetings happening all around the world now. SPY volume coming in, 561.50 is key. Definitely important here. This is like the best chance the buyers have to break out and actually get a good breakout to the upside. Especially because it's the morning. It's not the interest rate decision part of the day yet, so not the end of the world. Look at the way they react to it too, like perfectly. Triple Q is above the previous day close, the pre-market low, and the halfway point, and above CDO. Damn, so tech's getting saucy is what I'm hearing. Good looks, good looks. Tech is definitely warming up. Let me see that mags chart. Ooh, not what I was expecting. I really don't even know why Triple Q is doing that good. There's actually a few top weights in that sector doing bad. Tesla, a second chance at cracking 275.20s. I feel like a Looney Tunes character when I do that. Like stutter your words and you just like instantly try to fix it. And then it just comes all out as just a bunch of meh. Let's see, SPY's still up against that ceiling. Not like it's over yet. On that 1 minute chart on the right. I'm going back to it now on the 5. Like I said, this is their best chance. Got a good second higher low here. We actually made a new recent high. This is their best chance to break the level that we could not break yet. Or, we broke it yesterday, but we couldn't get any good price action above it. It was just bullshit volatility above it. Yeah, bring on Pal. Yeah, bring on the final boss. You're expecting a slow grind up, making it uncomfortable to scalp, in my opinion, before Daddy Pal. Still not significant volume. That's true. That's a good point, too. I'm just glad everyone here is aware of it. No one's trying to overtrade or anything today. If you do get a scalp in, though, and you do get a trade in, make sure to post your review or something so everybody can at least study, you know, what to do on an interest rate day. Also, if you are planning to somehow do some risky-ass trades later in the day, you can keep it to yourself. It's cool. But definitely review the PDF. We have a FOMC trading guide PDF in the trade floor of the Discord. It's free. Anyone can download it. But it shows tons of cool templates, basically, of tons of the different FOMC events from the past all the way to now. But yeah, pretty cool, though. It'll blow your mind if it's your first time seeing it. Right now, right now. If I could teleport, you know, us forward into time and take us straight to the PAL part of today, I think I would. Still some struggle against that ceiling, but we haven't, like, pushed away from it or anything, so nothing too crazy yet. 5 minute, it's just a hammer holding against it. Nothing bad. Buyers still have a pretty good chance to crack that ceiling. That was a pretty big struggle yesterday. Rejection of this also would not be surprising, but still have room below to just kind of settle. As I think I'm sure a lot of you know, we've just kind of been stuck between the today's open and the recent highs for a while. Not just this morning, but yesterday afternoon as well. And all the overnight price action. So, definitely a powerful move behind any of these breakouts, potentially just because of how much is built up here. And like we said earlier, there should be at least one decent move this morning. Not really weighing our options on it, just because, again, it is a very news-heavy day. Bulls at 16, dude, that's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Bull should be at like $1,000 a shit. No, I'm kidding. Don't clip that. But no, Weeble should do pretty good over time. I honestly hope it stays slept on. I hope people keep sleeping on it. Like, don't even share it to like the internet. Just share it to your friends and then just keep it to yourself. Weeble should be a pretty good one. Also, you can't lie, that ticker is genius. B-U-L-L, genius. like coin for Coinbase. Like coin is such like a catchy ticker name. And you might think, well, that doesn't matter. Ho ho ho. You're mistaken. I finally stopped calling Meta Facebook for a while. I don't even know when that happened, but that naturally just started happening. FB was kind of a nice ticker, though, just because it was quicker to type. You're getting on the bull train too, fellas? Why not? Yeah, exactly. I don't even use Webull anymore, and I like Webull. I just think something to take away from it is that it's a good competitor for like something like Robinhood. You know, anybody can open an account. It's not hard to look at. It's kind of easy to understand. I still think Robinhood probably has the easiest like aesthetic platform. Like they still look the best. As much as I hate to say that because I hate Robinhood, but Webull has better fees. And I don't know. It just seems like they try more. Because I remember before, like back in the day when they came out with that charting platform or charting program for Webull, because they didn't have their own charting program yet. They came out with that, and I thought that was the like sky was the limit. You know, that was it. But they just keep releasing new things for it, and they have like all these contests too. Like I don't know, I think Webull's a pretty cool platform. Like it seems like they're trying their best to like grow, but not in a way that's like, hey, buy all these NFTs and buy that and buy this crypto. Like they're not. I don't know. I like Webull a lot. I think the features on there are kind of nice. But you cannot deny how good Robinhood looks still. They're still probably the best looking, like, easy to grab, easy to open up platform. Your progression was Robinhood to Webull to Thinkorswim. That's not a bad pathway, honestly. I think most people start to, like, especially nowadays, most people start from Robinhood. It's just so easy to have an account. Like, anyone can have one. Like me, I personally came from, I don't even know if this app exists anymore, but it was like Stash investing app. You'd, like, park money and, like, you'd buy, like, partial shares slowly over time. Like, maybe you bought, like, $5 a week of it, or $10 a week, or $50 of this, or $60 of that. And that one was fun, because you could, like, stack up not just shares, but you could like understand the dividend side of things a little bit better. That's where I came from. That was before Robinhood, and that was honestly one of the coolest apps ever. I would definitely say if you have like a job too, that Stash app, or there's so many of them now that are just like it, so don't just use that one, but there's tons of them. Those apps are so good. For your future. Like, if you know you have like a good career ahead of you, just you don't even have to add money that much. Like, you could literally just be like, yeah, add $10 every week or every other week. You could even change the amount. You could adjust it all you want. But I think that's a really cool way of doing it, because it's like it's automatic. You can forget it. You could literally like set it up, never open the app again, or maybe open it up later on in life. But but it's kind of cool. You could just like set it, forget it, and then come back and like, oh hey, I'm invested. You could randomly be like, oh, I'll check this when the markets are looking better, you know, and then 6 months go by. It's like, oh, hey, wow, I'm up. I think those apps are really, really cool. Bulls up 14%. That's my baby. I wasn't even the first person in chat to find that ticker either. Like, there was like 2 or 3 of you posting about it, and then I was like, hey, I kind of like this. I also didn't realize that it was Webull. I think when I first saw it, I thought it was like a Forex ETF kind of thing, because of the ticker name. But then I saw it was Webull, and I was like, oh, we gotta take this a little bit more serious. Thank you guys for the likes on the stream. Appreciate it. Acorn, yeah, acorn's a good one. You're air frying some potatoes? What time is it where you're at? Uh-oh, Mike. Uh-oh. Is it about to get scary? Is that what I'm reading? 7 a.m. and you're air frying potatoes? Legend. I'll be honest with you. I was thinking about Chick-fil-A like 10 minutes ago. Chick-fil-A sounds so good right now. But I can't get up. I would, but I'm on a cut. I'm cutting. Like the Hodge twins. I'm cutting. I used to watch the Hodge twins before they got into politics, but I swear to God, their comedy content back in the day was hilarious. We cutting. I got a rack of ribs on the tray. Oh my God, that sounds so good. What kind of seasoning we got on these ribs? That sounds so good. Oh, wait, hold up. Wrong question. Beef or pork ribs? That should have been the first question I asked. You know he cooks correctly because he's got a Traeger. Hash brown scramble. Wait, what? Is this your Bitcoin password? Hash brown scramble burrito. Oh, from Chick-fil-A. Yeah, that does slap. Beef short ribs, 3-bone Texas style. Oh. I do love me some beef ribs, I'll be honest. There's two ways to my heart. Beef and queso. What is y'all's favorite, pork or beef ribs? That's a kind of a tough question. Slowly returning back under on the 1 minute, 5 minute no close over. Beef. VC says just chicken. Fair enough. You're right, I didn't say chicken ribs. I should have included that. How dare I? %, JC. Yep, good morning. Good to see you. Right now, we were looking for moves over this dotted line at 560.15, which is kind of a combination of levels now. Moving up into the 561.60, which was, again, I keep zooming it over to the right, but over here we had to struggle with this yesterday. Also kind of a news candle. So we expected to bump our heads here. We don't know if we should be able to go beyond this or not, but this is their best chance. They had good higher lows that did break under CDO and then retook it, which does build up a good amount of energy to at least move higher. So the fact that they hit this is, okay, expected, but nothing higher is definitely going to be a problem. Any struggle here could definitely return back to the dotted line. Under the dotted line, most likely going down to the previous day close, which is that level there. I really do think our saving grace, though, is the fact we didn't get a lower open, though. That is a huge, huge help, I think, for the buyer short term. Even if we do end of day end up getting shit news and we do fall, like, that doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter, but I'm talking about right here, right now. things that we can actually take advantage of. But let's see what goes on from there. If anybody has any questions or anything else to share, feel free to. I'm kind of just reading through everybody's updates through the trade floor and the YouTube at the same time. Spot's looking to make a new all-time high. Rob with the crazy update too. He said he was just talking about that earlier. And how is everybody on stream? We've been going for about 90 minutes from pre-market prep to now. Hopefully the updates are all right. Not a crazy day of price action. We just expect some movement here in this morning. Very volatile second half of the day, especially because of the interest rate news. And then overnight for the next couple days, this is going to be really annoying to hear, but over the next couple nights you'll be hearing a lot about the China trade deal news and all that good stuff. Spot is a beast. Yeah, Spot is literally just on crack right now. One news a day, keep the bears away. Put that on a mouse pad and sell it. Alright, I'm assuming you're all good. Nobody said if they were good or not, so I'm assuming everybody's fine. Still seeing a little bit of struggle under that level there. On both the 5 and the 1. No, chart matters only. Don't give a shit about what the market thinks. Because nobody knows what the market thinks. Anybody who thinks they do is just full of shit. You can make estimated guesses. You can even discuss probabilities. But to sit there and say you know it will do this or that is just... it's just bullshit. Let's be honest here. When it comes to interest rate news and days with news like this, like you're just guessing. Now, like I said, probabilities, you know, oh, if we're holding this level and we have a higher low here, like, yeah, that could definitely play into it, but I don't know. I don't like to try to, like, sit there and, like, conform a not consistent day with a consistent strategy, because then it's like, it feels like you're moving the bar to make it work, to make it look good, you know? I'm not trying to do that. It just feels weird. It feels dirty. It feels wrong. It feels like I'm lying to myself if I do that, so I'm good. I saw that too earlier. I was a little worried about it, Mike, but honestly, I think I welcome it to go lower. I wouldn't mind buying shares at 80, whatever that level was underneath, 86 or something. I wouldn't mind buying at that. Under 90 on UPS. Lagged to death as an insider confirmed. Not worried at all. Yeah, if anything, I think I start salivating when you said it threatening to go lower. It's like, oh, is it now? You know, I kind of want it to. Pushing my luck probably on that kind of thinking. Probably not healthy. But who said excitement was healthy? I would not surprise if it gives a big fat candle. Whoa, whoa, whoa. NRDS is an actual ticker? See what I'm saying? Companies are catching on, man. There's like 2% of everybody's brain that gives a shit about what the ticker is. NRDS? Crazy good name. What company is this? Nerd Wallet. They are on the NASDAQ. I feel like I could already guess what this is. Like maybe it's like a better, more intelligent cash app. It says it's an American personal finance company founded in 2009 by Tim Chen and Jacob Gibson. Website and app that earns money by promoting financial products to its users. Revenue in 2022 is $539 million. Why have I never heard of this company? Alright, hold up, Mike. Might as well just call this Mike's watch list at some point. Mike's watch list with some things I like. Interesting, interesting. I'm reading about it on my other monitor right now. Exciting price action right now, guys. We're really living the best life right now. Dude, their numbers look crazy, Mike. Their year-over-year numbers are insane. Maybe they're just more active this year compared to the last, but I don't know. They reported strong Q1 2025 revenue growth. I've literally never heard of this company. Well, shit, Mike. Thank you for that one. I don't mind adding another good one to the list. Still seeing struggle against this level here at 561.60s on SPY. Let's see what our SPY weights are doing. Tech slowing down. Banks are getting up to the previous day highs and are just... I say slowing down, but I really just mean wicking on this chart. Discretionary, they're getting up there. Putting up a nice hammer. Healthcare seems to be breaking down. They had a nice pop, it looks like, initially, and are back under today's open already. No new low of day yet, though, for the healthcare sector. Calm, just kind of to the right. I wouldn't really say any trend is winning there. Quick movement on staples there. What was that? I wouldn't watch this in the 5 minute. It's just on the watch list. I more watch staples in the daily. Good slow watch. $15 minutes tight. Yeah, it feels tight. The ticker WTF recently IPO'd. Alright. What is this? WTF. Ew. Headquarters Hong Kong. Parent organization. Watan Corporation Limited. Oh, don't click that. Oh, I clicked it. My Google was all in Chinese for a second. Genius ticker symbol, though. WTF. SOXX, the semis ETF, is looking saucy with an inside bar on the weekly and the daily. Starting a new ticker, Goon. Good mention, though, Alexis. Potentially answering light calls here, targeting 44.45. We have a morning star forming on the hourly, but it's too early on that candle. Yeah, I mean, we're struggling against this resistance right here, but I mean, they're still here. They're still fighting. It's not like it's pushed away and dropped or anything either. Decent consolidation around a pretty good level that, if broken, could definitely lead to a nice bullish breakout. Any struggle here, though, and any actual pullback, though, that might be the high of day. What EMA or MA do you like to use? I would say my favorites are definitely the 9 EMA, 21 EMA, and 55 EMA. If you combine all of those on the... I only like them for the daily time frame, though. But by far, my favorite EMA is the 9. By far. Anytime you move far away from it, you can use it's what we call a retention trade, where it tries to work back towards that 9 EMA. And you can use other signals, of course, alongside that, not just that by itself. Also, if you get a crossover the 9 on the daily, and let's say you have like a good candle... My strat is good candlestick pattern. Is it crossing the 9? Do you have room to the 21? If so, it's a good swing trade. Sometimes it's overnight. Sometimes it takes a couple days. But most of the time, you're looking for like an overnight or 2-day swing. It's not anything more than that a lot of the time. But that's just the use that I have used those for. Intraday time frame, I really don't like having EMAs on because it's just a lot of extra crap on the screen. But I definitely do not, discredit anybody who is using it. It's just I just can't focus with it on. But I'd say the 9 by far. The 9 EMA is by far my favorite. OSCR killed earnings. Mags is strong. Hold up, let's check that, and then I'll check out that earning. Oh, good call out on Mags, because yeah, a second ago they were looking like crap. Good call out. Which this is a good mention, because this means a lot of our more important weights are doing well. So this might even add into an early breakout here for SPY. And then what was that ticker? OSCR. Is that Oscar Mayer? Oh, Oscar Health. Oscar Mayer Wiener. Damn, that is a nice reaction. China rug puller's been popping like WRD. What about you, though, Steve? What are your favorites? Or were you just curious? Are we about to finally get a breakout? I mean, not a breakout, but a continuation of anything? Come on, for the people. I mean, what else do they need? They got the breakout. They got some higher lows here now. What are we waiting on? Where's this high of day at? Any day now. Come on. You can do it. Let's go, SPY. Me rooting for 20 cents of movement. Actually, that's interesting. That last candle on the 5-minute is the only candle that's closed over this level so far. Not counting this one, which is probably about to close over. So it has actually taken 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 minutes to do this. It's a lot of built-up consolidation. And they still slowed down. That's crazy. I'm honestly waiting for this to just jump up to 564.20 or finally give up on this. Not really this level. It's more or less like the higher low now that it's gotten up to this level. So I'd say it's like this area here. Whoever has control of this area wins. Short-term direction. Let me add some to the right here because it's a little hard to look at. There we go. Gabe Trades. I have no idea who that is. 1348 and 200. 200 is pretty historically used. The 13 is actually really popular as well. I've never heard of someone using the 48 though. 13 and the 200 are both pretty popular though. The ones I even said too, those aren't anything special. I don't want to make it seem like I'm sharing some intricate, you know, combination of moving averages. Like, no, those are pretty popular too. Those are just the ones that I've had the most success with and definitely have enjoyed using because it's not like they were hard to look at. But it's kind of nice if you just get like get yourself a really big ass watch list, get your EMAs going, look at the daily time frame, and then go through all those setups. Like it's honestly kind of fun to go through that. It's almost therapeutic. But my main use is just kind of for like daily time frame, you know, viewing that and seeing, all right, where does it want to go from here to here. You can review the entire playlist I have on my channel too. I have a swing trading playlist that's just me abusing that because it's just, like I said, it's therapeutic almost. Like you're just there's a system to it. It's like once you do this, you do this. Once you do that, you do this. You know, there's always something to do. There's always a course of action. Oh. Yeah, I didn't want to make it seem like I'm using some special combination of anything. It's just special to me. Ace uses the 4, the 20, and the 69 EMA. Nice. That is actually original. 4 and the 20 and the 69. Good for you, man. Ace. Ace, did you actually, sorry, I like brain farted there. Did you actually watch that playlist, or were you just bullshitting? I know you said 10 out of 10, but genuinely, how was it? Like, was there any, like, particular video that was better than any of the others, or did they all just suck equally? Watched it during my commute. Okay, so you didn't even care. 50% level's good. You like the opening gap concepts. It's the most vanilla Ace answer I've ever seen. You still don't know how you get my levels, though. Man. If there's ever been a running joke, that's definitely one of the longest ones. Got any playlists on those? This mother... Ace will, like, literally, like, disappear, come back, be like, yo, man, I just somehow found Workshop 11. Like, he always words it different to where I think it's gonna be something, like, where it's meaningful, you know? He words it different every time. I still don't know how you get your levels, though. That's crazy. I'm not going to name names, but I actually bumped into someone yesterday in the chat, and they said they had gone through, like, the BB Theory playlist stuff, but they had not gone through, like, how to get all the levels. You know, how, like, we get emerging candles and stuff. And I kind of laughed, like, not in a bad way, not like criticizing them or anything, but it was funny because, like, in my opinion, I really do think, like, the BB Theory thing is, like, the last thing you should watch, because I really do believe you should get, like, an understanding of how we're getting the levels and all that other stuff first, and then you can get into, like, the theory behind it all, because then you have like all the pieces ready to go. You know, it's not just like it's a jumbled puzzle piece in front of you. But I thought that was funny because they went through, like, the more difficult stuff in my opinion, and then they were like, yo, where's the basic stuff? I hadn't seen too many people go backwards, but I guess there is no such thing as backwards. It's just whatever order you want. But I thought that was funny because it was very innocent. Like, if one of you came up to me and were like, yo, Bueller, we're at the overnight gap halfway point, but you didn't know what an emerging candle was, I would be shocked. I'd be like, what? How is that possible? But I gotta also take into account, some people have probably joined later and, like, only know the recent stuff, and then some people, like, are just here from forever and just know everything. Because we got a fair number of veterans in here who've just been here forever. Forever, that's a long time. Starting to see some struggle here, but I mean, it's not like that's really stopped price just yet. And that's crazy, man. That really was like the time to go up, and it still didn't. Really good wicking on the 5 minutes to the upside. Too many years here and still. This price action's crazy though. We're actually just stuck here. Still feels and looks a lot more bullish than bearish now that we've gotten some more info to go off of, but the pacing is definitely slow. We'll just say slow. I think that's a good word. I'm sure other people in here would use more aggressive words than that. And thank you guys for all the likes on the stream. We're just watching SPY. Some of the weights of SPY are doing really well, though. The more important weights, at least. Like we mentioned mags earlier, it's not doing too bad. I don't see any reason to fear this yet. ... yet. Also, taking into account, everybody, it is a volatile day. We have an interest rate end of day, and 30 minutes after the interest rate news comes out, you will have a live meeting with Pal, live questionnaire with Pal. Not really a meeting. Triple Q, higher high, higher low. Good looks, VC. Thank you for the update on that. Because, yeah, I'm not clicking on over it too much, so I appreciate that. And good morning, everybody. If you're just now tuning in, good to see you. Be sure to drop a like on the YouTube stream. It helps out a ton. What do we got going on here in Discord? What's everyone saying in here? First thing I see is what lag sent. I should go back to sleep. To be fair, this price action was kind of expected. If we didn't get that one good move, we did kind of expect this. Not the greatest pacing. It kind of feels like Monday a little bit. That first move up feeling a little obvious, but not the greatest amount of pacing. Took forever to do it. Looking a lot like yesterday. Yeah, that's true too. Yesterday had better pacing though. But I do agree. Monday and Tuesday we had the lower open. They went up. They hit their 50%. They even surpassed them in some cases. Monday was a little slower on the first leg up than Tuesday. Today definitely feels a lot like Monday. But yeah, no, they're basically all the same price action. Today didn't get a lower open though. That's the only difference. So that's why I was kind of leaning towards maybe it has better pacing because we didn't have that first leading struggle of like, okay, well we opened lower. Well, today opened higher. What's your excuse now, you know? That's how I kind of felt about it. But yeah, no, I agree 100%. These days are like literally just like copies of each other. The pacing's a little different on each of them, though. Just a tight range under $1 range since 10. Dude, that's crazy. That was true, too. I think one of you had mentioned earlier that we were stuck between, like, two levels, basically. If you include the overnight and the pre-market and right now, like, it's been a while. We've been stuck between these for a while. It just might not feel like it because I only have, like, you know, 15 or so odd candles in the 5 minute. It's not that crazy amount of information yet. Well, we could just chalk this up to interest rate price action. I think it's not just because of that though. I mean, you have like interest rate, you got Powell, we got the China news, but with Besant now, it's like there's just so much to think about right now. Like the market is digesting a lot. And last time I remembered a news market like this, a lot of the price action happens overnight or in the morning. So if you're not catching like a swing and maybe not getting, I don't want to say lucky, but you know what I mean. Sometimes with news, it does kind of play into your favor. Sometimes it can fuck you. But yeah, so that's interesting. So be careful with that. In a news market, you definitely get a lot of the price action kind of already done. The good price action, it happens either in the night or in the pre-market. And then you get kind of like the excrement of that during the open. But a lot of the time, that morning session can be pretty good. Today, that might not be the case. I think today's a little special. But beyond that, I think that's just a good template to think about. Thank you for your content. Thank you for checking it out. Thank you for being here. And still seeing, I keep wanting to say struggle. I don't mean to say it like that because I don't want to like scare anybody. But I mean, we are just kind of struggling around this area. We're just jump roping it. 5-minute candles, a lot more wicks going up though. A lot more of the wicks pointing upwards. I wouldn't say there's like a true bearish wick to the downside yet on this chart. On the 5-minute, sorry, I should probably clarify that. On the 5-minute over here, you see how we just have all these bullish. I mean, this one's more indecisive. This one's a little bit more bullish. This one's more just kind of balanced. Nothing crazy yet. But I mean, more pointing up than down still. So even though we're struggling here, it's still not that ugly. I'm really gripping at straws here for updates. I don't like to make shit up, but I mean that's not bad looking. Like I said earlier, this is the best chance they have at moving higher here. If they're gonna do it, they gotta do it now. Inside bar on the 1-minute. Inside bar on the 5-minute. Most recent candles. Dude, shout out to the Japanese rice traders for inventing candlestick patterns. That'll always be the coolest story. All right. Can we get this move up, or is this going to finally just tap out, move down? Can't even blame it on tech this time. They at least tried. Don't forget to click the like button for appreciation. Thank you, Mike. Be grateful, not hateful. Give thanks, it'll help your trades. That could be true in a sense. There is that, that belief, what you put out, you receive. Did I get in a long? No, I'm just chilling. I have gone in heavy detail what this chart should and shouldn't be doing. And what I'm going to do. Right now, though, as long as it holds this highlighted area that we have here, it's like a combination of two levels. Definitely kind of adds to the probability of buyers. But the longer they've been up here and not moving off of this area, the longer it definitely leads me to believe we should be moving lower again soon. Jesus, it's like they heard me. Looks like a tweezer top on the 15-minute. Hold up, I'll actually go look at this. Of course, I just got rid of the 15-minute the other day. When you look at your tweezer tops, make sure that you're looking at your bodies as well. I don't think a lot of people popularize what tweezers are supposed to look like, but this isn't it. Close though, close. I see what you're seeing though. But also take note of the direction of your underwicks, not just what's looking up top. Because if you just hone in on what this looks like, you'll think bearish 100% of the time. So just make sure you do that too on the bottom side. You don't have to actually draw a line. You could just do it in your head, but you know what I mean. Really shallow stairs up. It really is. That's a good way of putting it. Volume's a bit down. Should make a move after the conference. I agree. I think if we didn't get one in this morning, like I said earlier, if we don't at least get one good move this morning, if we don't get anything this morning and after the conference, I will be shocked. I will actually be shocked. But those are like the two windows of today that I also agree that we should get some sort of movement. So the fact we didn't get one yet this morning, we just kind of got like a slow paced up move into a known resistance. I think every single one of us in here weren't really shocked to see it go up here and reject this whole time. Again, just kind of weighing in on the context from yesterday. We were all calling for it to go up and hit this level, but we knew it would be a problem. And every single time they've gone above it, it's been an instant pullback. So kind of expecting the same here until we see something that tells us otherwise. But I agree. So bottom needs to be the same as the top, yes. More often than not, yes. You want them to be a little bit closer than that. That was more of like a higher low. One was like a hammer, you know. And I wasn't trying to criticize you. It's just I do that a lot too. Sometimes when I look at those, I'm just looking at the top. I'm like, oh, the tweezer top, and it's like, wait, no, it isn't. That's not fair to say that. Also, free FOMC trading guide. Anybody in here in the YouTube stream, definitely tune on over here. I'll send a link to the Discord. But tune on over to the Discord. There's also a free PDF you can download that's linked to the trading floor. And it's just the FOMC trading guide. So if you don't know how FOMC markets work and the conference markets work, this will help you out. It just shows a couple variants of what can happen. So if you end up seeing something that aligns with it, you're probably not crazy. You probably actually see a good pattern showing up. Also, the other free PDF that I definitely recommend to anybody in here just to have, it's not really just to like promote it, it's genuinely just because it's a good resource. The candlestick handbook. I would definitely make sure you have that because we don't look at every single candlestick pattern. We look at just the most important ones. The ones that we find to be the most impactful. I don't want to make it seem like the other ones aren't important. Like, that's just based on what we've back tested and looked at and studied and actually traded with. What we find success with, what we find comfortability with. And there is that exit. They finally give us a direction. It's down. But like I said earlier, guys, we have to see this whole area as kind of a void between here and here. I mean, really between here and here. But if we really want to isolate it between here and today's open, it's just an area where, yes, they can go up if they're above today's open, like we saw here. But that doesn't mean that they have to keep going up. They could just return back and sit between here. Because it's, again, a big news day. So, and I hate to say that because I know not a lot of us like to hear that. I don't like to hear it either, to be honest with you. It's very annoying. We have to say it every day, it feels like. It's a news day. It's a news day. But we need to be using our context. If we know we have news at the end of the day, we need to be looking for a move at the beginning of the day. And if we don't get one there, what should we logically be thinking? That we should definitely be getting one with that news event. Which, again, not every news event is going to have movement. Just because it's important doesn't mean we have to get movement. You could have a nice spike down, a nice spike up, then bam, back to square one. You know, it's not really something you want to take action on. But just use your head. Use your head. You guys are very smart. At least most of you. I don't like to name names. Just kidding, of course. If you guys have any questions or any updates of your own, feel free to share. I'm just going to leave it on SPY, chill, see if this continues to fall more. Not really surprised by this, I'll be honest. I think a lot of us expected us to go up, hit this, and not really go anywhere, if we did go up at all. But this was their best chance to actually have movement up to that next level. Really good higher lows here, not just on the 5, but on the 1. I mean, that didn't look too bad. But it's identical price action to yesterday and the day before. We get a pop above a good balanced level that we're definitely on, that we have on watch. In most cases, it's the downward gap 50%. And then we just go above it for a couple candles, and then we fall below it, and then bam, huge fall, and then it's like we're back down to whatever level's under that. In today's case, it's today's open, previous day midpoint. Only took 2 5-minute candles to hit that level. But we just spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, almost 11 candles at that whole highlighted area. But it only took 2 just to come back down. It only took 2 to go up to that area. That is the most 2025 price action I've ever seen. Let's see if we get some follow through under today's open, that dotted line. If we get any break under that, that definitely leads me to believe we have to at least go down to 559. If we get a break of 559, which is previous day close basically, 55750, under 55750 we have 555. I bet you're really tired of hearing me say 5. We'll see though. Also very common to do whipsaws on days like today into a big news event, where you go up really big, you go down really big, but you don't really go anywhere. Google fell off. Good update. Yeah, I need to go through some of the weights here in a minute. Alright, now that we fell, we actually moved a little bit. I'm going to go grab some water. I'll come back and I'll see if we're still rejecting 560s. If we are, we should still be falling. If we're just ranging between 558.80 and 560.15, I mean, that's probably the highest probability situation here until we either see a bearish retest that sends us lower or a retake of 560.15 that potentially sends us back to where we just fell from. But I'll be right back. Alright, to get back, we just kept selling a little bit, not too much. We're just still sitting above 558.80s. Holy shit. That's some crazy movement. Sorry, I'm eating this like cereal bar thing. China's president arrives in Russia. Why do I feel like China's not going to like this? But Secretary Bessent said it is time for China to graduate from a developing country status. Bro, you better hope they don't click translate on what you said. Apple is exploring adding AI search to its browser. That's pretty cool. So we're just going to copy Google on everything. Nice, Apple. Good shit. Mexico's president, I am not planning a visit to the US at the moment, bro. We don't care. You will do deals with us, damn it. Wall Street gains as China boosts its economy ahead of the US trade talks. Crude oil inventories, that already happened. I don't think anything new. Shout out to Switzerland, though. You were gonna say granola? Here, I'll read out the actual... Where the hell did the wrapper go? Okay. Oh, here it is. I was like, what? Just disappeared. It's a Quaker chewy chocolate chip with chocolate chips. Oh, real chocolate chips. Yeah, I don't know if it's healthy or not, but it tasted good. I was gonna say a granola bar. Dang that boy leaking. Someone told me not to trust that pump there with no volume. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like almost everybody in trade floor was like, volume shit. Honestly, the whole time in stream, I've been pretty timid on this too. It's just like this is literally their best chance, and this is all they could do. Same thing in the pre-market. It's like, y'all had such good news, and y'all did, that's all you did with it? Like, we didn't really go anywhere. Yeah, there was a big fancy green candle at the beginning, but what happened after that? Slow consolidation downward. Basically zeroed out all of the excitement. So I don't know. I feel like that alone leads us down to 555, 557.50 at the very least. Insane move though. That's a crazy fast move. Definitely not gonna, you know, underestimate the power of that. That's just insane. And there is 558.80. We're actually hitting it. If you would ask me, would we hit that if we break down, I would have said yes, but I would have said maybe towards the end of this session, like 30 more minutes from now. The fact we just did that fast is pretty impressive. Yo, what's up, Rigney? I mean, Dividend Bull. What's up, Dividend? How you doing? God, I know too many of my members too well. And by members, I mean secondary best friends. What is up, though, bro? You actually made it to a stream. Is it a full moon tonight? Hold up. Gotta check Google. Full moon tonight? Question mark. Just give me a yes or no. Oh. No way. Oh, no, it's not. It's a waxing gibbous. It's pretty big. It's like 79% illumination, but it's not quite 100. At first, I thought it was a full moon. Wait, what, Charlie? Who are we roasting? I guess that second mortgage on those mobile homes is running out. $558.80. Here we are. See if we get some continuation under this. If we get a little bit of a bounce here, I don't think any of us should be surprised. We did just sell off all the way from basically 562 to 559 in no time at all. Short-term bounce here or like a jump rope of it. Liquidity grab would not be surprising. Or has the fear finally set in? Do we just keep selling off? Let me know how everybody's doing in stream so far. Let me get a vibe check and a live check. Who's all still here? Pretty wild morning so far. I mean, I say wild just because of the slow start. Very quick pullback down into the lows here. I say lows, previous day close. Any loss of previous day close or any more struggle under 560s basically, and we most likely will go down to 557.50s. But I don't like to put any probabilities on a day like today, like how we normally would, and how I do my updates, because it's an interest rate day. You know, we've had one decent move here. I don't want to sit here and be like, yeah, we should do this, we should do that. Well, like, yeah, that's what the system calls for on a normal ass day. So I also want to make sure that we all understand that as well. Like, yes, it looks like we should be breaking down eventually, even if we do take our time and have to go up and reject this again first. But that doesn't matter on a day like today. Logic almost doesn't make sense sometimes, so. Alexis. Is that Spock? It is. A second. Oh, nice, Rigney. You're in puts. I swear to God, when people send charts like yours, I know you're on your phone. It's not your fault. I cannot tell where your actual entry is. I see you made money, but I can't see what actually happened. No hate, though. I know you're on your phone. I know it's not as easy to, like, share it like that. Good shit, though. Either way, good shit. I'm sure you'll share a more detailed review later when you actually have, you know, your hands on a better setup. Let me know, though. I'd love to see your review on that. Good job, though. Round of applause. Letterbuck has kind of been killing it with these 4-hour updates, so I'm going to read this one out. He said the 4-hour outside bar candle is 3/4 there on one of the 15-minute candles. Wait, what? It's 3/4 there on one 15-minute candle. Oh, in the time of... Okay, never mind. I kind of got what that meant now. My bad. If you read it too quick, it's like, what? We have so many abbreviations now. FOMC is an abnormal day. Yeah, I agree. 100%. Google down to 155. Dear Lord. Who did they piss off? Like, Google had to have pissed somebody off. Huh? Oh, but none of that's the news, that's for sure. Yo, someone smarter than me. What happened to Google 945? Get on it. What did Google do that the rest of the market didn't? It went down. Thank you, Ace. I honestly didn't even realize. Without your update, I think I might have missed that. Sometimes that color blindness, you know, it hits you from the side. You just never know. Honestly thought those candles that were going down were green. News came out. I know, that's what I was saying. I'm trying to figure out what was it. What was the news? On Google specifically. I know the market had a bunch of stuff come out, but why did Google have so much more pain? The malware is linked to Russia? Oh, so it was the thing that I read? That's crazy. Rest in peace. Rest in peace to the pocket spot. Rest in peace to the parking lot. There's a $250 sitting in my pocket spot. Yeah, lost keys. I saw it on the news thing. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that was the news. I thought the timing was off, but I guess it wasn't. I kind of want to leave Google up on this left side screen just to see how far it goes. What even are these levels that I have on this? Oh, They're all emerging candles. We just don't have any further down here because I probably didn't make the effort to do so. Because, you know, why would Google ever fall that far? But I guess I need to go back and add some. Come on. Whoa, that was weird. There we go. Now we're not just lost out in the abyss. There's actually like something down here. There is soil. 1 minute on SPY, not looking too shabby for a pop up to that 560.15 like we anticipated if we didn't just keep dumping under 558.80s. I say that not just off of feeling, it's just we got a good touch of the level. Good impulse move up that does hit this high, so it's a good start. Go down, we're still holding a higher low over the recent low and the level. But the only thing it's really waiting for is just a good pop over this first impulse move, which would be this leg up right here. So I need to see some close over this. Ace, are you trading anything or are you just chilling today? You busy at work? I don't know how it works at sniper school. I can't believe Ace is going to be in SWAT. Apple exploring adding AI search to browser was the news. Okay, I read that one too. That dropped Google, I guess, but aren't they still in a lawsuit also? I really don't know, because I read the one that you and Alexis shared, and both of those came out before that drop happened. Like, way before. So that's why I was, like, confused. Maybe it was just, like, the market didn't react to it yet, and then finally when SPY dropped, I was like, alright, now send it down. You're chilling now? Swinging it? UPS is still holding? Okay. She held on for life. No new lows for us. Or no more recent lows for us. Not yet. If at all. They didn't pop over that impulse move. They're actually rejecting it right now. On the 1 minute for SPY, but that's not that crazy. 5 minute here for Google. I'm honestly just watching out of entertainment. Yet Apple fell too. Yeah, that's a weird one. I really don't understand that one. I know though you could sit there and be like, well, tech fell, blah 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 blah. It's like, yeah, no shit, but why did these fall more than literally everything else, and at different times? I don't even think they were at the same time. I think that's what's like weirding me out. It's not even is this the news or not. It's why did it do it at different times? And why is Google falling so entertaining? Oh, there is a new low of day on SPY right there. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, it honestly goes back to them not getting over this impulse move right here. If they would have stayed over this, probably would see us hitting 560s right now. Let me know, Sensei Ace. Frankie G, also known as Sand Dollar, also known as the GOAT, Oklo, scaled in a starter set position of 39 calls for... Hold up. I'm honestly not even going to sit here and think about this. I'm just going to enter. Every time this dude posts Oklo and I just sit here and ignore it, shit goes up like 600%. Guess what jackass is not in it? Me. Ding, ding, ding. Every freaking time. So you know what? I'm just going to enter this trade. Not even going to pay attention. Whenever he says he's exiting, I'm just going to get out. Not even joking. I think 9 out of the last 10 times he called that out, I think I didn't enter. And the one time I did, it was like the one time he failed. And it was like, okay. So we're going to backtest this here. Am I the issue? But I'm glad Sanddollar posted that in the trade floor for everybody to see, because he's honestly been destroying those really cheap contract plays just openly in front of everybody. It's not like it's hidden away in some membership-only channel. Like, no, he's just dropping it because he just enjoys trading. Super, super cool of Unk. Trade review will be interesting. I will say that was in... You were in calls, then you switched to puts, then you closed and re-entered. I noticed you did that the other day, too. Maybe you're just one of those traders that has to, like, feel it. You're like, okay, this side's clearly wrong, switching, and then you just make your good trade on that. Would have been 66%, but you took 17%. Oh, that sucks. Wait, why? Is it because of the loss offset or because of the fill? I'm just trying to... The offset of the loss or the contract itself? Either way, though, good job. You didn't just let that loss scare you. You jumped in another trade, you liked it, you stuck with it, took profits. You didn't sit there and try to make, 600% just because you did have a loss. You didn't let it affect you from either side. So, mental standpoint, you won. The cons itself, 66%. The most expensive con, I'm saying, 77. Oh, 17% of the smaller con. Oh, okay. Baby steps, Rigney. Good shit, though. Give yourself a pat on the back for me. I can't reach you from the corner of your room that my camera is angled at you at, so can't reach you from here. It was my phone. I got out of bed looking on my PC like, what the hell did it? That's funny. You're like, no, my phone's lagging. I'll go to my PC. It'll load up and update. Opens it, just eyes drop. That's funny. I'm gonna pull up SPY on the 5-minute now on this left side chart. Google, thank you for entertaining us. We needed some movement in our life. It was slow at first, but we finally got that move and time is flying. In 12 minutes, the first part of the day will be over. Algo code. So while it's slow price action, be patient and wait for the move, such as this. Giving Sanddollar a handshake wireless. Through universe and time, shaking this man's hand. I don't know, I'm just saying don't sleep on the different not just his callouts. I don't want to sit here and be like, make sure you're just taking his callouts. Like, he has a lot of really good updates. There's a ton of people like that in chat who, like, yeah, maybe they're not typing 60 messages a day, but you'll see there's like just high impact messages coming out of them. Like, they're not just here to bullshit. It's just they just enjoy trading. They're just sharing updates when they want. That's what this chat's for. But especially on Oklo, though, you'll see with him, like, he's so good at Oklo. I don't even know what this company is. I don't know why he knows so much on it. He just got really good experience with it. And there's different traders like that with different tickers in the chat. It's kind of fun, too, to, like, have like a variety of a list, but then have like a specialty of like, oh, I really like this one the most or this one the most. It's kind of fun to have that. You feel like you have something that's yours, even though it's not. But we can all pretend. But we'll see if we get any continuation off of this retake of the previous day close of the 558.80 on SPY. Any continuation or follow through to the upside because of this retake of that level, or do we just plot back under the level again and fall some more? Not gonna lie, it's not an ugly retake so far. Both the 5 and the 1 minute looking really good together. And honestly, the uglier the retake, the better. The fact it's just like one candle that dropped under and then just like 3 hammers. It's very ugly. On the 1 minute, that is. What's up, though? On the YouTube stream, where's everyone from? Waiting for the one smartass to type planet Earth. I guess Discord, too. Where's everyone from on Discord? I don't know why I singled y'all out like that. You're eyeballing Netflix and Bull? Oh yeah, I like Bull a lot. Check the dividend. Check the Swing Trading TA channel. Those are 4 tickers that I like a lot. Bull especially. I like Bull a lot. Webull is like... I've been glazing it, honestly. Probably too much. But I like that ticker a lot as well. Good looks. Entered small size on triple Q calls. Let's see. What is this level? I was gonna say, it's probably one of the only fib levels we've been marking. So this is actually the high of the most recent lower high drop here. So we have a fib from here to here. They went up, and then we have a fib from here to here. That's what it's holding right now. Well, that's what it's attempting to hold, but it looks like it's lining up with the previous day open as well. That's interesting. That's like the whole SPY chart. How yesterday's midpoint lines up with today's open on SPY. Yesterday's open lines up with this recent test right now. Well, also with the fib. Good looks though. That's good positioning. You're targeting CDO. The only other thing you could target is probably like previous day close. But I like that plan. Not a bad plan. Good risk to reward though there. If you were to buy a dip there, that would not be a bad one. Also, if you do get that reversal, make sure you get your cut. You don't sit there and hold it while it's breaking. IWM not looking too bad either. All 3 are working in sync, it looks like. Does this continue though? We shall see. Mags are not really reacting that much, and this is pretty important just because it's some of the top weights, but it doesn't always mean that that we can't go up or can't go down. It's not like that. Good looks though, Optioneer. Who's all, I mean, I'm not. I'll probably be around to, like, have it on, like, a second monitor while I'm chilling or something, but later in the day, is anybody going to be around actually watching the Powell questions and stuff and hanging around while the market releases all the big news later? Who's all actually going to try to watch the market in this afternoon? Again, just to remind everybody that news is at 1 CST, 2 EST. And then 30 minutes after that, that's when PAL starts. You're going to? I'm probably not going to be streaming then, but I just wanted to ask to see who is all going to be around. So I'll probably pay attention to the trade floor on Discord when all the news is coming out. Mike has done a really good job recently of sharing pretty much all the big impactful news as it's happening, not really late, so that's been really nice. I feel like half the time I go in there to share news, you guys have already done it. It's like, oh shit, my bad. It's a good problem though. I definitely am not complaining. Someone beats me to posting something important, can't really complain. Better than the Super Bowl? Is it better than the Super Bowl commercials though? Ah, there we go. Man, I'm proud. I really didn't think I was going to stream today, and then we did the whole first phase of the day on interest rate day. Look at us. Live stream schedule back in effect. Morning, late to the stream today. It's okay, King Carnage. This isn't really like that special of a day. I mean, news-wise it is, but totally fine. Hopefully your morning's been okay so far. You usually don't look at the mornings on these days. I definitely don't blame you. Couldn't blame you. I honestly just wanted to be here in case anybody wanted to go over anything or whatever. So, and I've been doing a lot of updates, so it's been kind of fun just kind of going over like just the right way to look at the levels really. Using recent context, I would say, has been the most advantageous tool this week. I mean, I feel like it always is, but especially this week. Van Dam did a really good job of seeing it on his own. A few others, I'm sure, have seen it on their own as well. Just kind of seeing, like, these days have really just kind of been copycats of each other, just in different ways. But definitely don't blame me if you're not looking at these kinds of days in the morning. It's not that big of a deal. I feel like it's honestly a good, healthy thing, too. You know, you get that, it's two things at once. You get that break, and you're probably missing a more volatile market. So, could be seen as a positive. Hey, I'm walking here. 558.80 still just seeing a battle around that right now. This is the previous day close. If held, should see a move up towards 560 around today's open, just underneath it. Any continuation under this, most likely looking towards that 557.50 area. Also not taking this insanely serious just because of the day that we have in front of us. UPS is trying to retake... You know what? I'm just going to pull that up. Why do I keep just going to the daily like it's like a muscle memory? And yeah, if you guys have any results or reviews, make sure to post that in the right channel in the chat. I don't mind if you guys repost it, if you're like just doing it in the trade floor and then you go into there, but make sure you're at least posting it in there as well, just so you get it in a good place. People can actually read it. In trade floor, it'll probably just get skipped over. Bros trading on FOMC. Who's trading on FOMC? Do you think we will sweep lows and take out the previous highs when the news comes, or do you think they will use the news to go lower? I really don't have an opinion on it, to be honest. I don't really, care about direction with news. I will say this, though. That highlighted area at the top of my screen on the right side chart for SPY, that is where we have struggled for 2 days now. And now we have pulled away from it. That's probably the most we've pulled back from it as well in a single move. So if we do get any kind of continuation back up, I'd like to see us at least hold the higher low over that highlighted area. And if we are going to continue down, well, we've already got that confirmation, so... Oh, he went quiet. Are you going to be looking to take... Sorry, I went to open my door. Are you going to be looking to take any trades? The morning session, we were looking to try to find one setup, but I didn't like the amount of time that had gone by. And the more later we get into the day, the more I'm not liking it for a trade setup. Just because, again, it's just too volatile of a day with the interest rate decision, the potential random drops of more China trade deal news. And honestly, the trade deal news could be over in the next couple days, but I highly doubt it. I like Dutch Bros too. Is he still typing? If he is, I can't see it. It's whatever. Ooh, Letterbuck with another update on the OB. He said, our OB on SPY 4 hour was 7 cents away. That bastard. Still time on the 4 hour. Good looks. Kid said base here around previous day close, then 5700 SPX after FOMC. That's her prediction. That's totally fine. Fun prediction on FOMC. Imagine being in the medical field and still being broke, and then going to someone's YouTube live stream, and because you're broke, you just try to like start shit. Couldn't be me. Ha 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 ha. Mike, as soon as I pulled it up, that's when it slows down. Watch, I'll leave UPS alone. We come back to it, it'll be like 95. Nah, probably not. 95 is probably too high. Every time I look away, it goes up. I don't know what other chart I want to look at, honestly. I just keep putting SPY because it's the only thing that makes sense. Damn, Amazon had a day. Steven, can you give me some context here? You talking about bigger time frames, smaller time frames? What are we looking at here, boss? Help me out here. Because all my short-term opinions pretty much do not matter because of today's news, and any of the short-term trading deal news over the next couple days with Bessent in Switzerland, doing deals with China, seeing where we're going with that. Is it about to get worse? Is it about to finally relieve itself? We'll see. So a lot of short-term direction really does depend on that. I'll be honest with you. What do I think about both? To be honest, I've actually been doing a ton of TA on Tesla recently, this past week or so. So I'll show you what I've talked about recently, and then I'll kind of work you into what it looks like now. All right. So I pulled it up, and we were kind of like pushing over this level. We were kind of settling out. I saw the super indecisive candle. Then we pulled back, kind of just watching the meat of that low, popped up again. And we were looking at this, and the next day we got a lower open. And I don't know what made me pull open Tesla that day, but we pulled it open. We're like, oh, okay, nice. With the lower open, this creates a bearish kicker just about under this candle, which is it's a very aggressive gap down, right? This isn't just a gap down. It's a very aggressive gap down. So that's why we liked it for downside. We went towards 280. It did go a lot lower than where we sold at, but that's okay. Next day settled. Today you can see we're just kind of still in that same area. So I'm still kind of bearish as long as we're under this level, to be honest with you, short term. And if we are just going to fall out the floor, where is the floor? I would say it's this here, and that's from that wick. I was at first using the 50% of this candle, but then I noticed it was basically already a level I had marked from the recent fib down of the big move down. And then also you could just kind of include this here. So this right here is kind of a void, like a pending area before it falls more, is how I see it. And if it doesn't fall more and goes up, where does it need to get above to keep working up? And I believe it's the 280 level. So short term, that's kind of what I'm looking at for Tesla. And that's kind of both bigger and smaller time frame. It's just I'm more looking at it from a bigger time frame POV, and then we're kind of zooming in down to the smaller time frames to kind of actually attack it as we see it. But let me know what you think, if that's pretty far off of what you were looking at. We kind of were, we expected to move down, but nothing's happened since then. We're just at that next area. Still seeing some struggle here on SPY, but they're still holding 558.80s, so really good chance they work into 560s here. But again, like we said earlier, this was this first like lower high before they kind of stopped. So the first move that goes up is the impulse move. So we're kind of watching like right here where my cursor is, and you can see not just once, twice, but another time potentially are rejecting the same area. So they really need to get above this here. before they have a chance of hitting 560s again. Which, again, this is more of a halfway point, so they still need to get over this to look better for bulls. But not a bad start. And again, not really weighing too much on any of these updates right now because of the day that we're on. We have a really big news day. It's not just news events that are happening today. It's the ones that are happening everywhere. We have the interest rate decision 30 minutes after that. You'll have Powell with the questions. As always, this is something that's been happening a lot. This isn't just like something that's just now happening. And then we have a lot of big impact happening with Besant over in Switzerland because he will be meeting with China. So that's big. Also, I don't know how much impact this has, but the China president is in Russia right now. So a lot of big shit going on, basically. Uh-oh, Google's trending. Oh, that was it, Mike. That news is so late, though. I mean, the reaction is so late. I read that on briefing.com. But it said it did. It fell over 5% as Apple explores the AI search in its browser. And that, remember, I even made the joke in the stream. I was like, "Oh, you're just trying to copy Google now." I even joked about it, and I still didn't think about it. LOL. Well, that's funny. I went to X, and the first post I see, it says, Apple can't even figure out Siri, and now they're scaring people about Google search? Amazing. That is true. That's funny. What's up with QCOM breaking high of day? Damn, that's an interesting chart. See a good rejection here. I'm honestly interested now that we're looking at it like that. From the high to this low. Yeah, that's what I had to see. Is there a 50% in this area? There's actually two. There's two in the exact same spot. That's crazy. Okay, that's not... I didn't want a barcode. There we go. That's interesting. Well, at least you know what it needs to hold or break to go a certain direction. I would say that's pretty important. That the fact that two different fibs line up in the same... I mean, what is that? A little over 20 cents? That's really not much. Wow, it hit 560. I'm just seeing that now on SPY. It actually did go up, so it got some good movement behind it. I've fallen and I can't get up. Could you show me how you get Those levels, I usually just trade liquidity, so I just mark out previous highs and lows and wait until they get swept, but I'm still kind of new to trading. Damn, you're new to trading and that's how you trade? That's actually really awesome. Liquidity grabs are a really awesome way. Retakes, you know, the loss and retake of something. That's honestly a really awesome way to look at things. If that's how you've begun trading, like, you're not on a bad foot. But yeah, here in a minute, I'll go over some stuff if you want. On my channel, though, you should just check out workshop number 11. It'll show you how to get, like, the traditional way of getting levels. Here on this stream, I've just been going over, like, recent price action levels. Just because we have so much news and volatility. I don't really care about looking at everything right now. So I'm just using some of the recent levels using fibs. But you might actually like a lot of the style we use if that's how you look at things, because that's honestly how we like to look at things too. Back to the first fair value gap. Are you talking about SPY, Jonathan Cunningham? Could you also send your Discord? Yeah, I can. Give me 1 second. I just recently had to unpause the server's invites because we were getting a lot of like I don't know who I pissed off or what I said, but we pissed somebody off because we just started getting spam like crazy. Okay, nice, Jonathan. I was just double confirming. Thank you for the update. On my chart, I don't mark those, but I do still appreciate your update. But on my chart, that's the dotted line around there, and that's just the halfway point of the previous day. But it's also today's open. It's kind of crazy that it opened right at that same spot. So it's a very impactful area is what I'm getting at. There's a lot of stuff there. The 560 basically, 560, 560, 15. Doesn't need to be perfect. Oh yeah, here. 1 second. Let me get you the invite link, Steven, but here's the fib settings that you're asking for. So the main part of it, I'll just show that part of it, is the just borders. This is like your bread, and here's like your peanut butter and jelly. This is just a halfway point. This is just all we really focus on. The other ones can be seen as like extended targets. These are like extra targets, but if you have some other levels in there already, you don't really need them, but I can show you the settings though. I'll leave it up on the screen for a second. All right, where the hell's the Discord? Oh, and one big thing too, and I say this literally every time, but please do not just join the chat and sign up or anything. Please actually like take time to look at shit first. I cannot stand when I get like a newer person that joins my chat, regardless of being new to trading or not. It does not matter. It has nothing to do with being new to trading. It's just people are a little bit more mature in my chat, and I want to keep it that way. I care about how they've treated the chat, so let's just keep it that way. 90% of the people in my chat mean well. Retested the previous day control point and 50% of the drop. I see you, Carter. Strong levels if it's also the CDO. Look at you guys. The informational sarcasm. I'm reading the thing that Kevo sent on Trade Floor. It sounds like murder for hire with extra steps. I like it. Are we good? Steven, are you good on this? I can take this down. And yeah, guys, we passed the first phase of the day at 10:30. That was 20 minutes ago. So we're getting into the second part of the day. You can also just call it lunch, lazily call it lunch. Between here and about 1 o'clock, which is actually right when the interest rate decision news comes out today, so it's perfect timing. And then between 1 and the close, which is the final 2 hours of the day, that's your like third phase of the day that we like to call it. That is going to be pretty eventful, I'd like to think, because you have again had the interest rate news coming out, and then 30 minutes after, 1:30 CST, 2:30 EST, Powell will be speaking, mainly answering questions, going over whatever updates he feels like he needs to give us. You're good? Alright, my bad. I didn't even realize you answered me. Nice, Jonathan. Is that from the kill box, I'm assuming? Google at 1:51. Sheesh. 9 minutes till top of the hour. Wait, Google kept going, or that's it reversing? Stop, dude. That's evil. What was the point of me drawing all those levels? There was no point. It was just to add to the depression of how much that's going to fall. Thank you, and how did you get the 560-15 level? It looked like a perfect touch, and yeah, I'm good. I appreciate it. All right, awesome. 560-15 is like 60 different things. That's actually what I was joking about with some of the guys here in the YouTube stream chat. You can see here, where is it? Carter said retested the PDCP and 50% of this drop. So what he meant in that message is like, of this drop, it's this level. That's the halfway point. That's all it is. Just a fancy way of saying it. And then PDCP is just a really long ass term that just stands for previous day control point. That's the previous day midpoint. Basically, it's just 50% of, if you take the low to the high or the high to the low of the previous day, that's the level you get. And a tertiary reason, that's today's open at the same time. So yes, it was a perfect touch, but it's mostly because it was just so many things at once, probably. It's just like I was just joking earlier, it was a very impactful area. So there's just a lot of importance there. But yeah, the levels are working really nice today. Kind of as expected too. Literally the last 3 days have pretty much been the exact same trading. You have a slightly lower open, which today you actually didn't. You had a slightly higher open. But you could argue that just because of the last 10 minutes of the previous day's session. And then we work up, whether it's pretty or not, and then we go up and we hit the previous day's 50%, and then we go back down. But today, a little different in case of the levels, but it's same variant, though. It did the exact same thing. We slowly worked up, we hit the only main resistance above our head, and then pulled back pretty quickly. This is the third pullback this week that came from a pretty obvious halfway point from a bigger time frame. Whether that's from, and here we can do a different chart so I don't screw up the chart that I've done 50 times. Oh god. What is this one? Oh, okay, never mind. We're good. We can mess this one up. How many charts have I redone this week? So kind of funny, and this is just like a kind of a macro example of what I'm trying to show you, but you could zoom on down and do the exact same thing all the way down to any time frame you want. Let's just take this recent dip just so we can look at one thing. So we have a high, goes down, makes a low, right? So I'm just kind of going from the high here down to the low with the fib, just Fibonacci retracement. And then I'm just mainly marking that 50%, because again, that's just the main important area. Remove, and you could keep that too. Just a quick example too. thought I was going to sneeze. We rejected the 50%, kept going down, and these dotted lines need to be more or less just as targets. I wouldn't like look at this and be like, all right, when it hits this, I'm going to catch a reverse. Like, you can, but that's not really what it's meant for. It's mainly just, okay, if this kept selling off, did it hit any of these targets? And in this case, it hit literally all three. So that's just mainly what those are for. And then we'll do the same thing. So you see how we kind of fell down, we hit this high, same thing. We got a high right here. It fell all the way down, and then we got this low. And what is this useful for? Like, it's not really like we're using it in this moment. Like, as soon as we have this dip, am I drawing this and using it on this day? No. Am I using it on this day? No. We're just a few days later. I think I ended up drawing it after this day happened, actually. Then we're looking at this as a halfway point. You know, we're not drawing it the very second it happens, and then we're like, all right, just make sure you buy calls above this and you're shorting below it, and that's it. Like, yes, that's the general idea, but there's a lot more that goes into it. So like in today's case, why I was drawing it like that to show you is that's like more of a macro halfway point. You know, that's more of like a bigger time frame halfway point. And then you have halfway points of previous day, right? So here's this is today, right? Here's yesterday. And this one's pretty dummy proof because you can actually draw this incorrectly and still get it right. So you can go from your low to your high, or you can go from your high to your low. But basically what we're trying to do is just get the outer crust of the previous day, and I'm trying to get the halfway point. And that's what we were joking about, is that, what the hell? Is that this level from this day lines up with today's open. And then Carter was just joking about it just now, talking about how this, lines up with, if you take the high to the low, like I just showed you on the bigger time frames of this big ass move, he was also saying this lines up with it too. There's like 50 reasons why this level is important, you know? So it's just kind of funny that it just has so much shit happening. But those are pretty important. Also, the third one, I'd say this is probably the coolest way to trade, honestly, are gap downs or gap ups. So in this case, we had the previous day close down to the next day's open, right? We had a gap down, right? So in this instance, this could also be seen as a good kind of intraday level. Now, I don't know if I would have kept it just because you could just mark off this whole area. What the hell? You could just mark off this whole area. So you don't really need that level in this instance, but that is also a good level just for good directional movement. So outside of your current day open for your intraday trading, these other halfway points and the way that we've drawn them, they're very good for directional trading. So if you're above one, you're looking for longs. If you're below one, you're looking for shorts to the next one. And it's not that simple. There's a lot more that goes into it, but just for like a starter, that is kind of what you're looking at. But yeah, hopefully that was somewhat helpful. Definitely check out some of the stuff on the channel, though. It's not like that's the only time I've ever gone over it. There's definitely a lot of examples of just all kinds of cool concepts that we use, just mainly using price action. I've used these same strategies for years now, so have a lot of the people in my chat. Some of them we've expanded on. I would say the main thing we've expanded on is Fibonacci and how we take advantage of it. And not just how to take advantageous trades because of it and understanding probability, better risk-reward trades, some might say. But also just for good information. Sometimes it's just nice to be like, oh, okay, we're above that. Okay, well, we should work towards that. You know, sometimes maybe you're not trying to actually catch a trade. You just want to know what's going on. So it's also just nice for that. But yeah, hopefully that was somewhat helpful to anybody who's more new in here. But definitely would check out workshop number 11 on my YouTube. It's more of a general one-stop shop type video that just kind of goes through everything. Kind of an older video, but it gives you a good general idea. See you later, Alexis. Be safe, man. TXN searching for pre-market high. Yesterday that gap didn't close. We might go there. Oh, from the gap down. Yes, I agree. That is very possible. That was actually why I was talking about that today. I was like, if we do somehow get good price action above this, like, we're kind of looking at these highs, potentially this day's close, because we didn't really fill it perfectly yet. Oops. So that is very possible. It's like a secondary target outside of getting beyond this. But just to clarify too, the 50% that we're bumping our head on, I know it's not, like, it's kind of hard to understand, like, what level is this, but this level, this white one, we all see it, right? Is this level. If I go from, oops, if I go from this high, wait, what fib did I draw to get that? Huh? Wait, hold up, I'm tripping. No, I'm not. Huh? Why does that look different on that chart? Oh, because I drew it wrong. I'm stupid. Sorry. If you go from this high to this low, sorry, huge brain fart there. A lot of streaming. From that high to that low, that's just kind of marking off like, oh, okay, it fell down. Awesome. It went up. Is this a lower high? And that's what this does. This 50% does. If there is ever any pop-up from this candle, which there was just a little bit, this kind of indicates to us, is this a lower high or not? And at this moment, you see it close up, and you're like, ah, it's not. It's closing above. Maybe it has a chance of holding this. Maybe for an intraday trade that next day, you're looking at, okay, if it holds this, I'll look for some bounces. If it breaks this, I'll look for some shorts. I mean, it opened way lower, so you wouldn't have been planning that at all, but it's just a good general, like, consensus when you're looking at that. But that level is pretty important that we rejected today. What I was trying to get at my original point. If we ever get past this to go work towards this high right here, or towards this day's close to actually fill that gap, it really does need to be beyond this level first. That's what I was saying earlier. This was our best chance, because they had some good higher lows. It was a little ugly, but they were doing their best to have wicks underneath. So outside of the interest rate news pushing us beyond this level is pretty impactful. This could even be seen as a second lower high, right? You have one right here. Finally are working ourselves up. If we reject here, it's a perfect time to go down to 550 basically. So pretty big decision at the 560, 160 level. And then of course that's where all these other levels come into play. Get your high to your low, and then you could start doing all these gaps. You got from here to here. Which, whenever I have that many, I don't just leave them all up. I would just mark your 50% and then move on. Like this one here. This is from this day gapping up to here. Since we're so zoomed in on just these 3 days, we don't really notice it. But like this level, this is kind of like the level that's stopping us from falling. Without this level, we would already be near 550. So we're kind of stuck between a level that we just said out loud that's a pretty big impactful level for direction, and then we just found another one. So we're stuck between two pretty damn important levels right now, for today at least. Pretty cool though, huh? How you can just use some super basic simple charting. There wasn't anything advanced. You don't need a super high IQ to chart or think like that. Super basic. And you can delete it and redo it all you want for practice. And backtest. Zoom in after you chart all that stuff. Go to a random day and just start reviewing the price action from left to right. Read it like a book. What happened? Get your context. Thank you guys, by the way, for almost 40 likes on today's stream. That is absolutely nuts. And yeah, even though nothing exciting today, trading-wise, because of just the news-heavy event today, and honestly, over probably the rest of this week, we still got to cover some cool topics, go over some cool things, cover plans, kind of go over the routine of things, because remember, that's really where a lot of your better trades are going to come from. It's not like you're just randomly in flow state or anything. No, it's gonna come from routine. If you're following a good routine day in, day out, or week in, week out, however you're pacing yourself, That'll obviously set you up for better success. I won't even just say better trades, but just better success. Do you actually set it from the body close, no wicks? Depends. Which one are you drawing? Are you doing the one where you're drawing the entirety of a previous day? If so, then yes, you need to draw your low and your high. You need both you need the outer crust. If you're doing a gap down fib, no, you're going to do the bodies. You're going to do from this day's close to this day's open because you're just marking the gap down. It closed here this day. The next day it opened here. So we're going to mark from here to here. So two different things. See what I mean? And then when I was showing you the bigger time frame one, that was also using the outers of the candles, the highs and the lows, not the opens and the closes. The opens and the closes are only for your gap up and gap down days. That's the only time you'll see me draw a fib like that. There's a lot of cool ways to use fibs. I didn't even show you how to use them for open range breakouts and midterm retest. Those are pretty cool too. If you ever have like a good level, you can just draw your fib to the high. If it ends up closing over, you higher probability it continues. If it ends up rejecting under the 50%, higher probability that it goes down to retest the level that you broke out. So instead of just going for an open range breakout trade, which is super low probability and super trash, you could just wait to see what that 50% tells you. And if you end up missing out, it's like, okay, so what? You missed out on a spike. Good job. Charlie, you're scaring me. What is this? Goog algo trading code. If new AI search engine and news, Google equals false, Apple equals true, action equals sell Google. Dude, Charlie's going ham right now. No, you are right though. That was the reason for the news, or that was the reason for the drop, I should say. Can't wait for the pal vibe check. He just comes out slinging and starts talking tons of smack. Who said they were gonna fire me? Who said they were gonna replace me? That would be funny. Alright guys, I'm not going to end the stream just yet, but I am going to end it pretty soon. But if anybody has any questions or anything they need to go over real quick before I do end it, this is the time. If not, then I will end it. But I hope everybody who is leaving enjoyed the stream. Be sure to drop a like on the stream. Enjoyed some of the breakdowns, some of the conversations. Even knowing that we probably weren't going to have the greatest of trading days, still kind of nice to at least find a couple things to talk about. Fill in the void. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the past couple days of streams. We've had some really long streams. Today is probably the shortest one so far, but definitely trying our best to be productive, I guess I should say. Not just streaming to stream, but to actually be productive. What do I use to chart on? This is Thinkorswim. I almost just did it again. I almost said Thinkorswim by TD Ameritrade. It's Thinkorswim by Charles Schwab. For the charting, but this is also my broker. And how do you think today will play out? Honestly, I'm not going to sit here and tell you how today will play out because I don't know. I have no idea. If I had to guess off the price action alone from the larger time frame, I would assume that we break lower as long as we're under 561.60s. That's what I have to assume. As long as we're under that top purple level there, I have to assume we do continue down. But that doesn't, price action doesn't matter with today being a news event day. So please remember that. Today's a little special. So even if something tells me bullish, it might not mean bullish just because of what's happening today. Hopefully that answers your question, Steven. Fighting the open? Yeah, my bad. I'll switch to this chart while we're talking. What are the indicators that you have in the chart? I don't have a single indicator on my chart at the moment. This thing you've been seeing me kind of throw around and add and delete, that's just a Fibonacci retracement. Oh, these are just data boxes. I wouldn't call those an indicator, though. This is just marking today's open. This is the previous day high. This is the previous day low. This is the previous day close. This is the previous day open. These are just good short intraday levels that are just good, impactful levels. Part of the system here. Outside of your larger time frame levels, those are just really good short-term levels that I like to use. Sometimes they end up being really close to each other, and you can use them in unison. Sometimes they're spread out, and you're kind of using them and kind of working themselves off of each other. No problem. This one, I don't remember. I think this is the percentage of the average volume. I think this is the current volume, and this is the average volume of the last 30 days. I believe that's what these three numbers are, but I don't really remember. Because I remember I deleted the ATR, DTR, but I left the volume statistics because I was like, why not? That didn't hurt. And normally I have volume off, but the other day I had it on. I didn't have a problem with it. I used volume in the past. You don't really need volume, to be honest. If you just read the candlesticks and in what order they're breaking certain levels. But volume definitely does help. Volume is definitely nice. What is the green and red square thingies in the middle? They go up and they go down. Okay, someone's trolling me. If they're calling candlesticks square thingies. I honestly, to be honest with you, Black Label Artist, I thought the last couple were trolling me too, but I was like, you know what? I'll be nice today. I'm in a great mood. I almost answered your question too. I was like, well, those are called candlesticks. Benefit of the doubt too. I was like, maybe they think this is something, but that's just the current price. You almost made me answer you genuinely. We're at kind of a pivot point around the today's open, also the previous day halfway point. Also the halfway point of the recent leg down from today's high. Shout out to Carter for that info. I didn't even realize that at the time. Well, if we don't have any other questions, guys, or any other, really anything, I think I'll end the stream here. I do appreciate everybody for tuning in, even on a not so eventful day. Thanks for the likes, the support, the comments, the updates. I always appreciate when you guys throw in your hard work too, your updates, because it's not just like, oh, let's just wait for Bueller to be bullish or bearish. Like, it's really nice having the teamwork working in here, so that's nice. But I think I'll end it there. I do appreciate everybody for being here. Shout out to everybody in the Discord as well. Thank you guys for updating and still posting, even though most of the attention's in here. We're all just kind of like looking at stuff together. I still appreciate everybody going in there. And remember, it doesn't matter if, like, even if I'm sitting here and I'm going, watch 560.15, you know, and you're also saying it, it's okay. You're allowed to also say it. It's not like, me saying it bullies you out of saying it. Like, it's okay. If anything, you saying it reinforces someone else saying it. Because it's like, okay, he sees it too. He sees it. Maybe we have different reasons for having it there. Maybe you're like, oh, that's today's open. I didn't even notice. You know, whatever the case may be, it's still nice. So don't ever think or feel bashful that you're not allowed to share, you know, whatever info you're trying to share. Keep it price action focused, of course. I don't know. I don't think anybody in chat needs to hear this. You know, we're not posting a bunch of random shit in chat. We are trying to focus on things that we're actually focused on. So I do appreciate y'all's hard work. It does not go unnoticed. So thank you guys for your updates as well. And I will see you guys later on. Thank you guys again. And if you are wanting to just kind of catch some updates on anything that's happening for the rest of the day, I'm sure some of the goofballs in my Discord will be posting some of the news and stuff as it's coming out. The interest rate news comes out in about an hour and 45 minutes. And then 30 minutes plus onto that, you'll have Powell. And then end of day. So see you guys later on. Thank you guys again. And have a great rest of your day.